ചരിത്രം തന്നെയുടെ
It's mindless, but sometimes I'm also jealous of how much money they're making with this.
to the same school.
Yes, she's 12 years junior to me.
No. I did the story. I pitched the story.
The loudest person is in jail now, right? Rahul Ishwar. So yeah.
രഞ്ജിനി മഞ്ഞ കളർ ഇല്ലാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം നല്ല കുറച്ചും കൂടി മഞ്ഞപ്പൊടി ഇടാം.
Sorry, men's rights activist.
പിന്നെ മമ്മി മമ്മുവായി, പിന്നെ മമ്മു മമ്മുക്കയായി.
What is the other Pooja's name? Mohanlal.
MA, MPhil, മറ്റത് മറിച്ചത്.
പൈസ കൊടുത്താൽ നിങ്ങൾ പറയുമോ ന്യൂസ് മിനിറ്റ്?
Genie Talks.
Hey everyone, welcome to Genie Talks, and I've got some opinionated women on the show. I love having women on the show because I feel like എനിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ relate ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന അവരുടെ കൂടെയാണ്. But I particularly like Unfiltered, Unapologetic, and well, unedited women, but these guys edit a lot because that's their job, right? I'm sure all of you have heard of the News Minute. It's an independent digital media platform which has been doing really, really well, according to me, because you're definitely something I follow, and I feel like they have at least എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്ന രീതിയിൽ very honestly tried to put stuff out there. But let's meet the women or the girls behind the journalists. Hi Dhanya.
Hi.
ധന്യനെ ഞാൻ ന്യൂസ് മിനിറ്റിന്റെ ഇതിൽ കണ്ടിട്ടേ ഉള്ളൂ. We've of course chatted a little bit.
I've always like pinged you because you're trolled for something. And
Something or the other.
We'll write about it now. How do you feel? Are you feeling upset?
And I'm like, what? We have Nidhi also from News Minute. Nidhi, actually, we have something common, alle?
Yes, we went to the same school.
Yes, she's 12 years junior to me from Choice School, and I'm like, oh, journey is good going. And Sukanya, former lawyer who ran away from all the stress and took more stress.
Yes.
No, this is less stressful.
For you, is journalism more stressful or being a lawyer?
My boss is here, so it's all good.
Yeah.
This is the boss. Is she a good boss? We'll start there.
She's a lovely boss.
She's a
This
lovely-
I'm not saying for the camera, but she's a lovely boss.
She's a lovely boss. What makes a boss lovely?
ഇതൊക്കെ പൈസ കൊടുത്ത്
എന്നെ
പറയുന്നത്
പറയാം. പൈസ കൊടുത്താൽ നിങ്ങൾ പറയുമോ ന്യൂസ് മിനിറ്റ്?
I think what makes bosses lovely generally, and what makes her lovely, is also that she's very empathetic. That's very important.
Okay.
In an organization, it's very important to understand, and she's very patient. She
Oh.
will wait for people to, she'll see potential and she'll wait. നമ്മൾ ചിലപ്പം
ഇതിന് എനിക്ക് കാശ് തരണം. ഇതൊക്കെ കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ.
നമ്മൾ മിസ്റ്റേക്സ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുമ്പോൾ ചീത്തയൊക്കെ വിളിക്കും, ഞാൻ അതൊക്കെ പറയും. പക്ഷേ ഐ സീൻ ഹർ ബീങ് സോ പേഷ്യന്റ് ഓൺ പീപ്പിൾ വെയിറ്റ്.
ഞാൻ ഫുൾ മനസ്സിൽ തെറി വിളിച്ചിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ patient ആയിരിക്കും.
അഭിനയിക്കാണ്. How long have you been working together?
3.5 years.
Okay. What about you? What do you think of your boss? അവിടെ തുടങ്ങാം നമുക്ക്.
I actually find it most admirable that I actually haven't heard anyone talk bad about her behind her back.
Oh, everybody just says shit in front of her.
Probably. No, that's actually a huge feat to achieve as a boss.
Yeah.
That you don't have people behind your back saying
speak
bad
to you.
things.
That's a good
And you can actually tell her what you think when you think it.
Yeah.
And she will also tell you what she thinks. But it's done and dusted there, I feel.
Now, why don't you tell us what sort of a
ഞാൻ
boss you... എന്നെ തന്നെ ഒന്ന്
And then you can tell about us also.
കട്ട് ചെയ്യണ്ടാട്ടോ. ആ ഡോർ നടക്കുകയോ? AC ഒക്കെ ആ വഴി പോണു.
You can actually tell about us also.
Yeah. We're going to start there because this is like actually ഇവർ 3 പേരും there with News Minute. She's the editor-in-chief and co-founder. These guys have been with them for a while, and if you follow News Minute, you've seen all of them do their job. Okay. Tell us, what do you think of yourself as a boss, Dhanya?
So I just learned the hard way. I work with a TV channel for 8 years. Avada the decibel level is like very, very high. You're just screaming all the time. So when the boss screams, everybody screams, right? And I was like a middle level boss, which means I had to scream at 5 different people. So I'm saying like midnight we are screaming, early morning we are screaming, all when we are screaming. So after that I became like Zen.
You're not Zen.
Don't misunderstand what they said.
But
You're not Zen.
But I'm almost Zen. You see, like if you had seen me before, you would know I'm always Zen. Like people, I have 2 colleagues who used to work with me in TV, and they've come with me here. They're shocked. They're like,
How are you so like?
Why not shouting? My colleague Pooja, she's like really pissed off these days because I don't shout at people who deserve to be shouted at. She's like, Dhanya, stop being nice. Shout at them. Shout at them.
Best.
Yeah.
What do you shout at people for? What makes you the boss unhappy as an editor in chief or yeah? What is it that really pisses you off with journalists who come in and do what wrong?
Yeah, see, other than the normal things like doing things on time, that is all.
Normal.
I have a huge problem with people who stop feeling for things. Who stop feeling angry, sad, empathetic. The moment you don't have those, you should leave this job.
And do you think there are a lot of people who are in this job
Because
just for the
they'll
money?
be there for 2, 3 years, 4 years, and that energy will sap out, right? Then you're just continuing, but you're not feeling anything. Like you read something every day, you're reading the same thing, right? It is just the person who has changed, even if it's sexual violence. You read it every day. But each time you have to have the same feeling. Otherwise, there's no point. That really pisses me off because I'm like, I'll read something, I'm very angry at this, and that bureau has not even told me this has happened. Then I will have a volcanic eruption.
Have a volcanic eruption. And
You've seen that.
you've seen it?
Yeah. These guys get it. Kerala bureau gets it all the time.
കേരളയില് മലയാളികൾ ഒരുപാട്
Oh, your
പേരുണ്ട്.
Kerala bureau.
Yes.
Your Delhi bureau. Alla.
She's
I don't know.
everywhere.
Yeah.
She's everywhere, omnipresent.
But she's actually an editor also.
Oh.
So she edits other people's copies. also.
Okay.
Yeah. I do only, I think, a few projects
Okay.
which are long form.
Okay.
And then sometimes I pitch in when anyone needs help.
Okay, got
But
it.
on the daily grind, it's more
Yeah.
Sukanya.
So
Yeah.
I will ask Sukanya, why this switch from law to journalism? It's, I mean, കുറച്ചുകൂടെ financially rewarding would be law in long term, or is journalism doing well financially as well? I
I
don't know.
don't think journalists are making any money.
I have no idea, right? I want to know because there are so many journalists.
No, they're not making. I mean, unless they are corrupt journalists, other people are not making much money.
Yeah.
But after a point of time, some people do make. Yeah. Tell us.
Tell us why this switch.
I was so I studied here in Kusat.
Okay.
I did my LLB 5 years and then I went to Trivandrum. So my parents initially thought I would train for civil service and write the exam or something. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ അവിടെ പോയിട്ട് journalism evening course join ചെയ്തു.
നല്ല കുട്ടി. Because അകത്തൊരു ഉള്ളിലി
എനിക്ക് തോന്നി എനിക്കറിയില്ല അത് അങ്ങനെ തോന്നി.
Right.
അപ്പോൾ I did that and it was the best year of my life. Press club ആ സമയത്ത് press club was very different. Trivandrum Press Club. I had the best year of my life there. And then I felt journalism doesn't make money. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു I didn't want to start.
Felt satyam.
But I didn't want to start with it. So what I did is I went to Bangalore and I worked as a copywriter in advertising.
Okay.
That was the first 1 or 2 years of my life. And then I wanted to do a post-graduation. So then I studied again. I studied philosophy. I have an MA. I went to Hyderabad Central University.
So
Then
much she did, dude.
അത്
I
ഞാൻ
feel
ബാക്കി
so
പിന്നെ പറയാം.
underachievement പോലെ.
ഞാൻ അറിയില്ല. എനിക്ക് ഇത്രയൊന്നും പറയാനില്ല.
കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ പറയാം.
അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ തിരിച്ചു വന്നപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് തോന്നി അപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഈ അഡ്വർടൈസിംഗിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് കുറെ തോന്നാൻ തുടങ്ങി എനിക്കൊരു സോഷ്യൽ എന്താ പറയാ ആർട്സ് ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് എന്നുള്ള ഒരു എഡ്യൂക്കേഷനും ട്രെയിനിങ്ങും ആണല്ലോ ലൈക്ക് സോഷ്യൽ ക്രിട്ടീക്ക് അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ലോ സോഷ്യൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് തോന്നി ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഷുഡ് ബി ഇൻ ടു സംതിങ് മോർ പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ സംതിങ് മോർ ക്രിട്ടിക്കൽ ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ഐ ഫെൽറ്റ് ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ഓക്കെ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഹാവ് എ ലോ ഡിഗ്രി ആൻഡ് ഐ എം നോട്ട് പ്രാക്ടീസിങ്
Okay, so then.
So then I switched to criminal law because I wanted to be in the lower courts and everything. അങ്ങനെ 1-2 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും I started feeling this moral conflict. I'm not saying criminal lawyers should be morally conflicted. I was feeling like I couldn't take it beyond
Because
a
you're in
point.
the system.
And I was also a criminal lawyer.
The
I
best
was
system.
defending a lot of people. എനിക്ക് അത് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ട് ഫീൽ ചെയ്ത് then I moved to IP law and then I thought no I will start writing. Then I started freelancing കുറച്ച്
അങ്ങനെ ന്യൂസ്മെന്റിലെത്തി.
So ഞാൻ പറയട്ടെ
അത് പറ.
സോ സുകന്യയുടെ വീട്ടിൽ പോകുമ്പോ ഇങ്ങനെ ഈ മലയാളികൾ കുറെ വീട്ടിൽ കേരളത്തിൽ മാത്രം കാണുന്ന ഈ
മറ്റേ
board
മതിലിലെ
വെച്ചിട്ട്
certificate
അപ്പൊ
പോലെ.
സുകന്യ MA MPhil മറ്റേത് മറിച്ചത് എല്ലാം ഇതിൽ വലിയൊരു ബോർഡിന്റെ സുകന്യയുടെ
അച്ഛനും
വീട്ടിൽ.
അമ്മയുടെ സമാധാനത്തിന് വേണ്ടി അവർ
ഞാൻ എല്ലാ പ്രാവശ്യം അവിടെ നിന്ന് സെൽഫി
എന്നിട്ട് അതൊന്നും ഉപയോഗിക്കാതെ ജേർണലിസം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് നടക്കുന്ന മോള്.
അത് എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട് ഡിപ്ലോമ ജേർണലിസം.
അതുകൊണ്ട് how did you get to journalism?
I actually wanted to be a dancer.
Even better.
So-
You do dance.
I do. I used to.
Were you with Mamanga? No.
No, not with Mama.
Okay,
I
tell us.
used to. I did a year off with Articlery. So I did a dance diploma. Then I thought I wanted to be an actress.
You didn't know.
എനിക്ക് ഒരു
കൂട്ടുകാരികളൊക്കെ കലാകാരിമാരാണല്ലോ.
So I thought I wanted to be an actress.
Oh,
Then I thought I
nice.
wanted to be a dancer. Then my parents somehow put me in college.
Okay. Where'd you go?
In Mount Carmel College. And then I had one of those professors that turn your life around. And he pushed me to take up journalism. I think I liked storytelling
Okay.
a lot. Even dance had the reason I
Storytelling.
liked dance was because I liked the idea of storytelling. Till date, I feel like I don't think I'm a news junkie journalist. I like narrative
That's why you prefer long
storytelling.
form.
Yeah, that's why I prefer long form. I did the daily grind for I think about 6 years, and now I've made a choice that this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Because I like the idea of storytelling.
Yeah,
So
nice.
so after college, I moved to Kashmir, which was my first stint
Nice.
in journalism, and then I did my masters in journalism, and then I came back. So I don't have
As,
But I agree.
10,000 aspirations and talents, but I have one.
One. That's a good one.
I really agree with Nidhi. Even, I mean, before this, I used to work with a feminist magazine. അപ്പോഴും എനിക്ക് ന്യൂസ് ഗ്രൈൻഡിൽ ആവണ്ട, ന്യൂസ് ജേർണലിസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും എന്നെ തന്നെ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല ഉള്ളില്. അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് ഇനി ന്യൂസിന്റെ ഗ്രൈൻഡിൽ ആവണ്ടെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു. അപ്പോഴാണ് ധന്യന്റെ കോള് വരുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ അപ്പം ഐ റിയലി ലൈക്ക്, ഐ മീൻ, I used to, when I was in college, I used to think, oh, Newsbench is such a nice organization. Dhanya Rajendran is so smart. I should meet her someday. അങ്ങനെ എനിക്ക് ഫീൽ
വല്ല പ്രൊമോഷൻ വല്ലതും ഉണ്ടോ?
this is all. So when initially when I joined the Newsman, I was a little overwhelmed because you have to know, have that news sense. You have to interact with daily news. അപ്പൊ ഞാനിങ്ങനെ കുറേ വാട്സാപ്പ് ഗ്രൂപ്പുകള്, കുറേ ബസ്. അപ്പൊ ഞാനിങ്ങനെ സമാധാനമായിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ഈവനിങ് സമാധാനമായി സ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തോണ്ടിരുന്ന എന്റെ ഫോൺ ഇങ്ങനെ പെട്ടെന്ന് വൈബ്രേറ്റ്. അപ്പൊ ഞാനിങ്ങനെ it took me a while, but now I know how to handle it. But now I'm glad because I get to know. ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് അത് അറിഞ്ഞില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഭയങ്കര പ്രശ്നമാണ്.
Now let's get to you. You probably have a longer stint in journalism.
Yeah.
How did you start it out?
I didn't have any of these.
ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കഥകൾ.
Dance ചെയ്യണം ഒന്നുമില്ല.
Law ഇല്ല,
Or
dance
you
ഇല്ല.
were going to be president of Palakkad or something.
അങ്കമാലി ആയിരിക്കും.
Palakkad. She was very popular in Palakkad.
Basically, school, college, I knew that I will study very less. So I took
Okay.
commerce.
Okay.
എന്താണ് ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് പഠിക്കേണ്ടതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അതെടുത്തു. I was in college politics. I first thought I'd become politician. But then I saw, I think 1997, when Devagowda had stepped down, there was this news show. And then NDTV illana. So this news show, I think Rajdeep and Bhatta, they were very angry that there's only one more change and churn and all that. So I was like, hey, even Enikku Vandittu they're talking, like, they're bothered that India, our money will go for one more election. So I'm like, maybe this is a good job. Appo pinna my aunt was a journalist. She said, പക്ഷെ പഠിക്കണം. ഡിഗ്രി എങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയോ ഞാൻ പഠിച്ചു. ഇനി ആദ്യം പഠിക്കണം. So I looked for the shortest course in journalism.
Which
That
was
in Asian College Journalism, 9 months.
Oh.
ബാക്കിയൊക്കെ 2 കൊല്ലം 3 കൊല്ലം. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ shortest
9 മാസം മാത്രം പഠിച്ചിട്ടാണോ ഇതൊക്കെ ചെയ്യണേ?
അതിന് ഞാൻ ഏറ്റവും ഷോർട്ടസ്റ്റ് കോഴ്സിന് പോയി. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ജേർണലിസ്റ്റ് ആയത്. But I've been a journalist, like I never had any other interest except for I like to organize parties.
Yeah.
Kids' birthday parties.
It's one favorite subject.
Yeah, so if I no longer a journalist, I'll do that, or I'll run a cat shelter.
Cat shelter. Okay, nice. So now we're talking. Okay. So now tell me this. News Minute started when? How many years ago?
2014.
2014. But for an online independent, media outlet, I feel like you guys have made quite a mark in terms of the kind of reporting that you do. Do you guys feel that about yourself?
See, when I started, I was in TV, like I
There.
said. Ettukollam, I worked there, and it was very, very difficult because these guys have not done TV at all. They actually don't know that experience. You're just waiting outside people's houses. You're just, I mean, waiting meaning sometimes 2 to 3 days. You go home for 2-3 hours, come back, wait. So I decided I'm not going back to TV. And the
This is a
moment-
news TV.
Yeah, I
News
was in
channels.
Times Now.
Okay.
I was Times Now's reporter, bureau chief for 4 states. Under 4 states, Telangana was not there.
Oh.
Yeah.
ഇപ്പൊ 5 ഉണ്ട്.
History
നിങ്ങൾക്ക്
പറയാം.
ഒരു എക്സ്ട്രാ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്
ചരിത്രം ധന്യയുടെ
അത്രയും പ്രായമായിരുന്നു. We've seen India divide.
അതെ 4 സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നല്ലോ. ജോലി വിട്ടു ഞാൻ. I thought okay, I'll take a sabbatical എന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കാം. ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ജോലി വിടാൻ പറ്റൂല. You cannot take a sabbatical. ആൾക്കാരുണ്ടല്ലോ എന്താ അടുത്ത ജോലി, എന്താ നിങ്ങളുടെ ലൈക് പീപ്പിൾ ആർ ജസ്റ്റ്
ആൾക്കാരെ ആൾക്കാര്
നമുക്ക് അറിയുന്ന ആൾക്കാരും അറിയാത്ത ആൾക്കാരൊക്കെ ലൈക് ട്വിറ്റർ came at that time. So they were like, what's your next job? Why are you taking a sabbatical? നീ ജോലി ചെയ്തേ പറ്റൂ. I had a baby by then. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go back to the job. And then I thought I can't stand outside people's houses and do TV. So I told my husband I'll start something, just give me some money. So we started with 1 intern and 1 reporter. It was a very small project. First 2 years even I didn't take it very seriously. I was reporting there was another reporter called Anisha.
What was the...
Yeah, I don't know. Suddenly picked up the first 2 years, and there were people ready to invest, but we told them that, boss, we are not sure of our product. So we didn't take any money from anybody for first 2 years. We said
Lovely.
after we figure out our path, I mean, I used all his money. So
But I finished it for my news minute.
then we started getting in one investment. Then I don't know, it just grew. And also, I think South India is never covered very well, right? It's always a second thought for most coverages.
Yes.
അതുകൊണ്ട് we were able to put South India on the map.
And penetrate also because of that online.
Initially, it was just that we covered the South. I'm not saying we covered really well or elaborately. Just that ആരും ചെയ്യാത്ത കാരണം ഇന്റർനെറ്റിൽ especially everybody just noticed us. പക്ഷേ 6 years ഒക്കെ കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ everybody had started doing it, like the Hindu, Deccan Herald.
Yes.
Everyone just got on the game, and there's no way we can compete. So they have like really like 500, 600 reporters. We have 25. So
Can't
then
really
we are like,
compete.
we have to change. So then we adapted to focusing on what we want,
And what is that?
which is basically it was for a long time only gender. പിന്നെ BJP-ന്റെ ഗുണം കാരണം 2021 മുതൽ we had to do politics also. So from 2021 onwards, we are heavily
Focusing
into
on that.
political reporting.
Okay, since you mentioned gender, നമ്മൾ 4 പേരും സ്ത്രീകളാണ്, 4 പേരും ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് ആണ്, ആണല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
Yeah.
Okay.
അല്ലല്ല.
You are definitely
ഞാൻ
not.
ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് അല്ല, ഞാൻ ഹ്യൂമനിസ്റ്റ്.
No,
I want to give a tight slap to anybody who says it. Shut up. What the hell? വേറെ കുറെ പാക്കളും ഉണ്ട്. ഈക്വലിസ്റ്റ്,
ഞാൻ apolitical
കോപ്പ്. അപ്പൊ the news minute has that sort of ഒരു അഭിപ്രായം also.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think women talking about things factually is biased towards women? Like avarku you know what I'm saying?
No, the perception.
I think people are just not used to it to start with. I don't even think at home anyone is used to women actually saying something, saying it sensibly, saying it with knowledge. It's either you're hysterical or you're emotional or you're going through something or you don't know what you're talking about, right? So I don't even, like in my own family, if I remember when the newspaper used to come home, my dad had this rule that he doesn't like the crease to be
Folded, like
changed.
changed.
He has to be the first one to read the newspaper, and only then my mother or I could read the newspaper,
Wow.
right? So from that space to be actually then told the news by a woman, and I'm sure this is not just my dad. I'm sure there are many men who feel entitled to a certain amount of knowledge, to be able to accumulate knowledge from other men. It's a social lubricant among men. So now from there to be told what the world is going through by a woman is not something that can be easily digested.
Even by women.
Even by women.
Yeah. Conditioning runs deep. Ayyo.
Yeah. So I just think it's that. You're just not used to it. You find it uncomfortable and unsettling. And that's great. I do think that it only changes when there's some amount of discomfort. So it's great that
You feel
there's that
People
discomfort.
feel
Yeah.
that. You just previously said earlier you worked for another
Feminist
feminist something. So ഈ ഒരു ന്യൂസ് മിനിറ്റും അങ്ങനെയാണ് എന്നുള്ളൊരു ചിന്ത ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോ? Is it because I feel the feminist in you stronger than the feminist in the other two?
So like, I also, since you said
നമ്മളെ ഇടയിൽ കൂടി
ഞാനിങ്ങനെ
അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ അനുഭവിച്ച കുട്ടിയാന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. കുറച്ചുകൂടെ inner battles നടക്കുന്ന കുട്ടി. ആ കുട്ടിക്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഇതുണ്ട്.
but I feel
I feel she battles more inside.
yeah, that I do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if more, but I do battle.
നമുക്കൊന്നും ഫീലിങ്സ് ഇല്ല.
അല്ല, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കുറച്ച് ക്ലിയർ കട്ട് ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് ആയി, ഇതിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ വേറെ കുറച്ച്
അങ്ങനെയല്ല. My beat is gender. I specifically report on gender and law.
Right.
So previously I used to work in a Delhi-based digital feminist magazine called Feminism in India. I was associate editor when I resigned. So I want to say, ഇപ്പൊ രഞ്ജിനി പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, I'm not a feminist, I'm a humanist. See, 10 years...
രഞ്ജിനി പറഞ്ഞില്ല, അതന്നെ
പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ.
ധന്യനെ പറഞ്ഞ ആരും വിശ്വസിക്കത്തൂല.
10 years back, I said that myself.
See,
So 10 years back, I said that myself.
What did you mean by that?
I said that... so 10 years back, I'd won a poetry award. കാരണം ഫെമിനിസം ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ, എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഫാമിലി സ്പേസിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു സ്പേസിൽ വേറെ ഐ സെൻസ് ദാറ്റ് ഞാൻ ഇത് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് ലെസ് ലൈക്കബിൾ ആവോ, ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ഭയങ്കര വഴക്കുണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഒരാളാണെന്ന്. Will they think that I'm belligerent? So I was a little wary of it, and then I understood that's because of how, like Nidhi said, people see women. So when you're saying the word feminist, all people can see is this very straitjacket idea of someone who's hostile, someone who hates men, someone who's disrespectful. It's never even like, let's say all political theories are very set first like that. Like even socialism, Marxism for that matter. പക്ഷെ അങ്ങനത്തെ ആൾക്കാരുടെ അടുത്ത് ഇത്ര hate ഇല്ല. But when we are saying
Hey, Marxist hate
അല്ല ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ for being a Marxist,
Yeah.
it's not that by default considered that you're someone who is ഭയങ്കര rude or you hate another section or you hate all capitalists. അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സാധനം അങ്ങനെ ഇല്ല. But I've realized this word feminist has that connotation, and I have tried to study around it, and I feel like Nidhi said, I feel it's that perception. Oh, ഇവർ ഇങ്ങനെ ആയിരിക്കും, ഇവർ അങ്ങനെ. But we are just people who believe that uh, there should be equal rights. We're people who are trying to speak from. I mean, like Dhanya always says that in the post-truth world, there can be no neutral newsroom. There can be no neutral person.
Yeah.
You have
You
to
need
be
to be inside of the
biased.
truth.
No, you have to be biased towards truth. You have to be biased towards people who are marginalized. And gender as an identity is something that marginalizes people. And I would still want to say it's not a homogeneous identity. Like, namal woman, okay, I'm a woman. By means of gender power, I'm marginalized. But a Dalit man would have less power than me.
True.
If I'm a Savarna woman. So you also understand gender as an identity where you keep changing from being the oppressed to being the oppressor, to being the oppressed to being this. So it's a very nuanced thing. So ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ സമഗ്രമായിട്ട് മനസ്സിലാക്കി ഒരു പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ മൂവ്മെന്റ്, ഒരു പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ തിയറി ആയിട്ട് അതിനെ മനസ്സിലാക്കി അക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് now I have, even before I had the understanding, I grew into the understanding of what my gender politics is, but now I'm completely there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
അകത്തുള്ളൊക്കെ പുറത്തു വന്നു.
അല്ല ഞാൻ കൊണ്ടുവരും ധന്യ ഈ ഒരു ഐ എം ഷുവർ ഈ ഒരു accusation you hear a lot, this നിങ്ങൾ ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് ആണ്, നിങ്ങൾ പ്രോ ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് ആണ്, നിങ്ങൾ പെണ്ണുങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി മാത്രമേ സംസാരിക്കൂ, നിങ്ങൾ അവരുടെ ആൾക്കാരാണ്. Is it something you hear a lot in this journalism field, or is it more towards you news minute?
Journalism field and all, nobody hears it, only us, I think. Somebody actually said on a video feed saying don't listen to vaginas. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's that
Something we
bad.
did 2 days ago, and yeah.
നമ്മളോട് vaginas.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
listen to these vaginas. So it's that bad. So
അയാൾ കേട്ടിട്ടില്ല vagina monologues-നെ കുറിച്ച്.
so it's
Cotton.
see, I did not, like Sukanya, my journey has not been into feminism like,
No.
when I became a journalist. Yeah, I work for Times now.
There is no way it's going to be about
Yeah,
that.
I did not know what feminism is, I think. Like, I wanted to report on women, and I was always I drifted myself to it. Other there was no feminist in me. But when I started the News Minute, I had a couple of colleagues. There's one person called Soumya Rajendran, and there's Raga, Malika, Ram, Anna. They were all telling me that we have to, I mean, they understood
Focus
that.
on.
No, they understood that I'm also pivoting towards it without putting a name to it. But I think Soumya helped me put a name to it.
Yeah.
And for us, initially, I think our feminism started with culture. തുടക്കത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ മൂവി റിവ്യൂസ് ഒക്കെ വളരെ മോശമായിട്ട് എഴുതായിരുന്നു. തല്ലിപ്പൊളി ഫിലിം വേർ ഹീറോസ് ബിഹൈൻഡ് ദ ഹീറോയിൻ ലൈക്ക് ഫോർ 10 days and they falling out. We used to call it stalking. അന്ന് ആരും അങ്ങനെ എഴുതുന്നുണ്ടായില്ല. Except I think Anna Vetticard, nobody was writing it.
Yeah.
അയ്യോ, നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന തെറിയൊക്കെ തെലുഗുന്ന് കിട്ടും, തമിഴിന്ന് കിട്ടും, മലയാളത്തിൽ കിട്ടും.
That's because they're South India focused. India ആയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ മറ്റേ ഭാഷയിൽ കിട്ടിയാൽ.
I remember being in college.
ഇന്ത്യക്കാരെ
I remember being in college and suddenly reading one of Soumya's reviews in the News Minute.
Which movie?
Where it was some Dhanush movie, I think, where he's and
ധനുഷ് മൂവി അല്ല. I'll tell you what happened. There was a woman who was killed in Chennai.
yes,
That time we wrote a story saying that the stalker heroes better stop this nonsense because
Yeah.
that guy became a stalker and he carried the Arival and killed that girl in the railway station.
so
Swati.
I saw that, and then there was a cultures piece, I think, on how stalking is romanticized as love, and then it really hit me. And you know, a lot of things hit you like that because you're so, patriarchy makes you so complacent. Ipo nammade executive editor undu Sudeep eppalum parayum culture is a spin off of patriarchy. Culture is the vehicle through which all
It is
these
spread.
ideas are spread and sort of cemented in the society. So ഈ സിനിമ അതിനെ നമുക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ടാഞ്ചിബിളും ഭയങ്കര ഇമ്പാക്റ്റ് ഉള്ള ഒരു മീഡിയം ആയതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും വി ഡോണ്ട് ഇൻട്രോഗേറ്റ് ബിക്കോസ് ഇത് ഭയങ്കര നോർമൽ ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക്
എന്റർടൈൻമെന്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാണല്ലോ പാസ് ഓഫ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്.
അവര് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഫിലിമായി കണ്ടാ പോലെ പറ്റില്ല. ജെൻഡറാണ് നമ്മൾ കാണും.
എന്തൊക്കെ പ്രശ്നമുണ്ട് സിനിമയിൽ പറയൂ.
ഇതാണ് നിങ്ങൾ എന്തിനാ ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, എന്ത് കാര്യമാര് ഇതാണ് പോളിറ്റിക്സ്, നിങ്ങൾ എന്തിനാ ജെൻഡർ കാണുന്നത്, എല്ലാതും നമ്മൾ കാണും because we are 50%.
Because it's a reality.
Yeah, we're going to see it. So ആദ്യമൊക്കെ തെറി വെക്കുമ്പോൾ I used to get a little worried, as in then we decided we should go all out. So only to teach somebody like this, go all out. And then now what is, there are so many people
Who identify also, who understand.
yeah, and so many writers also have gotten braver, right? People are writing, so many young writers are writing the same way, which I think that Soumya and all really made a big difference.
Big
And there can't be these criticize ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്ത ഐഡൽസിനെ അങ്ങനെ കൺസോളിഡേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് പവർ ഉള്ള ആൾക്കാർ. There can't be those figures in culture, no? There's nobody who can be immune to
ഈ
criticism.
വഴി കൂടെ പോയിട്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് ഇനി കൂടെ ചിത്താക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. നമുക്ക് ഇത് ഇവിടെ നിർത്താം. ഈ വഴി
ഞാൻ ആലോചിച്ചു അത് സാരല്ല, അത് ഞാൻ ഈ ഷോ ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടോളൂ. ഇതിനു വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ ഈ ഷോ ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമൊന്നുമില്ല. അത് നിങ്ങൾ തേടി പിടിച്ച് പോകേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ലല്ലോ. അതൊക്കെ നടക്കും.
But I'm saying that's where the newsroom also comes. It's not that, it's not that, okay, go and attack somebody. It's not that. But there's a certain structure to it that's enabling this kind of thing. Then you need to hold that accountable. You can't let it pass because it's a powerful somebody or, something like that.
So how do you guys like? I mean, you're a smaller group of people. Independent ആണെന്ന് പറയണം. നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെ തീരുമാനിക്കും what news you're going to cover. How do those decisions come about? I'm quite
That's where
curious.
everybody's bias comes, right?
Ah.
In the sense that normally college they'll ask you, why are journalists not neutral? So I tell them, you shouldn't ask journalists to be neutral. You should ask journalists to be objective. ഈ ന്യൂട്രൽ എന്നുള്ള വാക്കിനെ തെറ്റാണ്. ഈ കോളേജിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ACK കുറച്ചുകൂടി നല്ല സിലബസ് ആയിരുന്നു. മറ്റുള്ള കോളേജിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്
അവള് പഠിച്ച കോളേജ് മറ്റേ 50 മാസത്തെ കോഴ്സിനെ കുറിച്ച്
എനോട് ചോദിക്കൂ, ബിനോട് ചോദിക്കൂ, സിനോട് ചോദിക്കൂ, put it out in the news.
എന്നിട്ട് അവര് തീരുമാനിക്കട്ടെ.
അല്ല, ആൾക്കാർ തീരുമാനിക്കുക എ ആണോ ശരി, ബി ആണോ ശരി.
You can also, you're an individual too.
So A ബിനേക്കാളും പവർഫുൾ ആണോ, ബി എനേക്കാളും ക്യാപിറ്റലാണോ, ഐ മീൻ ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ, കാസ്റ്റ്, വാട്ട് എവർ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ്, ഇതൊന്നും അറിയാതെ A B C എന്ന് എഴുതിയിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ലല്ലോ. ജെൻഡർ. So my whole point is newsrooms need to be objective, not neutral. Yeah, that's all. So a lot of problems come from that, but I think sooner or later people will have that understanding of things, right?
I mean, we also argue a lot.
How to come to
how to decide to do what a story, how to do
The question was about that. Yeah, correct. Huh?
Not the course.
Yeah, seriously. So,
yeah, like with the Sunni story, with the last story that we did.
Yeah. Did you guys banter and figure out whether you should
for
do it
a whole
or not?
year we have argued a lot.
Who won?
I mean, essentially, I did the story. I pitched the story, and it's happened. It's out.
she
Story one. Oh.
She will say, "I'm
this is
wedded."
diplomacy.
I'm wedded
She will keep saying, "I'm wedded to this." I'm like,
to the story.
Yeah,
To the story.
I'm wedded to this line. I'm wedded to this phrase. I'm like, hello, divorce.
Divorce.
That's all. Not I'm just joking. No, but in our meetings, we have a lot of fights.
Okay.
We have a Monday meeting. പക്ഷെ മിക്കവാറും like when I'm discussing like ഒരു അദാനിന്റെ സ്റ്റോറി ഉണ്ടാവും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പൊളിറ്റിക്സ് സ്റ്റോറി, ആരൊന്നും വേണ്ടില്ല. I'll be the only person talking. And it's like I'm talking to myself. I'll be like, okay, we do the story like this.
ആരും ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ഇല്ല.
അത് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഫിലിമിന്റെ സ്റ്റോറിയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും കൾച്ചർ സ്റ്റോറി വന്നാൽ ഒരു 15 ഉടനെ അഭിപ്രായം. And sometimes it goes for 1 hour. Like ഒരു ചെറിയ സ്റ്റോറി, ഒരു കർണാടകത്തെ ഒരു ആക്ടറെ കുറിച്ച്, one very mass toxic actor, അതിനെ കുറിച്ച് എന്തോ, അപ്പോഴേക്കും ഒരു 10 അഭിപ്രായം. പക്ഷേ look at his background, പക്ഷെ മറ്റത് മറിച്ച് എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. So our newsroom was very chaotic when, in decision making, in the sense that initial meeting, then it all comes into place.
Okay. So now you've been doing this for the last how many years with News Minute?
With News Minute specifically, I think 3 years now.
And over the course of time?
8 years. Yeah.
What has been the most rewarding factor for you at being, doing what you do? Even could be a story that you've done, could be an experience out of it, could be just feeling really elated and happy. Can you think back of one big incident?
In my career or with News Minute?
In your career? Or with up to you?
I think because of, yes, the work is intense. I've largely only covered sexual violence.
Okay. Ooh.
So the work is intense. All of that is true. But I also feel like I'm very uniquely positioned to meet some of the most amazing, strong women who've taken on the world, right? So a lot of times I've been asked, does it take a toll? It does. But I also think I get to see the other side a lot more than people. I get to sit with them. I get to feel their energy. I get to understand what it takes to take on a system. And it's not that I don't want to applaud their strength, because they're not doing it because they're strong. They're doing it because they had to.
Survival.
And it's survival. But it still takes something to do that. And I think being able to see that puts my life in perspective a lot. It really takes me out of my own, if I'm in a space where I'm feeling sorry for myself, it takes 1 second
come
to
out.
Something I
kick
did
me
feel
out
too.
of that,
I say
right?
that too. I feel like we're also blessed because of the shit that happens in the world. And
Yeah.
ഞാൻ എന്ത് ഭാഗ്യം ചെയ്ത കുട്ടിയാ.
And
Yeah.
I really feel like the biggest lesson that I've learned is one that, but also that this I feel like as women we are easily sad than angry. Like a lot of times we confuse anger with sadness and we cry or we're upset, and I still do all of that. But over time I've recognized what is anger and what is sadness and when to be angry and when to be
It's
sad.
much more powerful too.
It's much more powerful.
it.
I've learned to be angry when I have to be angry, or at least I'm trying to. Dhanya thinks I should be more angry.
More, yeah. No,
In certain moments.
I'm all for anger when
Yeah.
it comes to if it's easier to deal for Enki Suga. It's my go-to emotion.
Yeah. And I think it's the opposite for men, in fact. Like when they're sad, they only know how to be angry.
Yeah.
So I've learned, or I'm trying to learn through this
celebrate the
process.
anger.
Yeah, because I meet a lot of really amazing, angry,
Young.
steadfast women, and that I learn a lot from.
Also, I wanted to quickly ask, because you said about meeting so many people who've been through similar women.
Yeah.
Is there something like a common thing that you see amongst all of them? That because you said sexual violence,
Yeah.
you said women who are fighting a system. Is there like a common trait in all of them, or are they just different people, different walks of life?
Everyone's different. I think I also meet women from different intersections. Like right now we're working on stories in the film industry, the Malayalam film industry and the Hindi film industry, but over time it's also been women from rural spaces, Dalit women. There is a certain texture of anger that I still feel is very similar.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Which happens when you're pushed to the corner and you really decide to bark back. But other than that, it's intersectional.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
How about you? What's been like a highlight in the last post-lawyer phase? Or are you still?
No, every day I've felt very grateful for the fact that I'm in a newsroom that has more women, that is, like Dhanya said, biased towards good governance, democracy, and things like that. So now I think what I take away from my workspace and my work is this process of feeling understood and trying to understand.
And that's
that
important to
yeah,
you.
that is very important to my internal process. So every time I speak about something, there's invariably a colleague, there's either Dhanya or there's somebody else who's sharing the same anger or the same sadness. You feel seen in a way that the world doesn't allow you to be seen. നമ്മൾ പുറത്ത് വേറൊരു സർക്കിളിൽ, thankfully my friends, my family, they've all been on board, but generally when you're out in the world, you start thinking, വേറെ ആർക്കും ഇതൊരു പ്രശ്നമല്ലേ, വേറെ ആർക്കും ഈ ഇമോഷൻ തോന്നുന്നു, വേറെ ആർക്കും എന്താ
മാത്രമാണോ ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ?
വേറെ ആർക്കും എന്താ ഇത് കണ്ട് ദേഷ്യം വരാത്തെ, വേറെ ആർക്കും എന്താ ഇത് കണ്ട് സങ്കടം വരാത്തെ. Come on, we're all embedded in
I know
this.
what you're saying.
Yeah, so for me the biggest
Hanni sense of humor on the report കാണുന്നില്ലല്ലോ.
So എനിക്ക് that feeling of being understood.
I have something to say about that.
And also see all these crazy women, like you, so many different kinds of people who tell you every day that you can be all sorts of things.
Yes.
Yeah, so for me, എനിക്ക് അതാണ്. And like obviously, like Nidhi said, my beat is also gender, talking to people. But for me, it's that process of trying to understand and make sense of my life and their life. That process is what I'm here for. Yeah.
You were going to say something.
No, I was actually thinking today that like when the Delhi verdict came out, right? It was a difficult day for a lot of women.
Yes.
And it was heavy. And I was just thinking, if I was working in a newsroom with a lot of men, even if it's woke male allies, they become very performative about their allyship, right? And then you have to take care of them. They'd be like, I'm so upset, I'm so angry. And then you're like, okay, it's okay, we will figure. But the fact that we're all women,
And you can
I feel
express
like we
freely.
all understand how upsetting and heavy and serious this work is, but we can be unserious and
Yeah.
also have a relaxed and sort of
There's that
somehow
little bit
playful
of-
time.
No,
ആ
I agree.
ദിവസം നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ഒരുമിച്ചായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ there's a little thing, no? Ordering food in between, asking, have you eaten? You see someone is being a little quiet. You're like, hey, do you want to go out for,
Yeah,
to
but
catch a
imagine if you
breath?
had like even
Small-
woke men, it would have
no,
been
no,
a
I
bit
hear you.
tiring, you know. They
No,
will
it's a
take
lot
care
of
of their
work managing
wokeism.
it.
I
Yeah.
was thinking a friend of mine recently went to Andaman Nicobar Islands. Andaman for a No, she went to Nicobar for a holiday. അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് കത്തിയില്ല പെട്ടെന്ന് ഞാൻ ഇമീഡിയറ്റ്ലി പറഞ്ഞു ഓ അതിപ്പോ കുറച്ച് കാലം ഉണ്ടാവില്ലല്ലോ. I was thinking of the port, right? She's like ഒരാള് ഹോളിഡേക്ക് പോകുമ്പോ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോർട്ടൊക്കെ വരുമല്ലോ അതുകൊണ്ട് അത് സ്ഥലം തെറ്റി പറഞ്ഞു. I'm like the grim reaper. ആരെങ്കിലും സന്തോഷിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും അത് അറിഞ്ഞോ ഇന്നിങ്ങനെ സംഭവിച്ചു ഈ ഹോളിഡേ കൊണ്ടുപോകുന്ന ഫ്രണ്ടാണ്
best friend. What about your highlight? You've been getting a lot of like highlights, no? കുറച്ച് നാളായിട്ട്.
Life itself is a highlight.
What's like, what makes you happy about what you do, or what
Working with
has?
us.
Working
with us.
Yeah, and like when we do a story like Dilip story,
Yeah.
for example. I mean, every state we have caught on to something which we are really invested in. Like the post Karnataka and where Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
So I also think that it is like generations of reporters here who have actually like put in that work.
Yeah.
They are the newest generation, but I feel like happy that there are so many people before them also who really like that
Who've done
base
their
was
thing,
built,
yeah.
right? So I feel happy about it. But I'm not a person who thinks in daily highlight.
Nothing.
No, because I can't afford to think like that. See, gender is one thing, but when you report politics and all that, there is no immediate impact. In fact, we are not going to see that impact, like in our lifetime. So that is not like I feel happy when we do a story. It is like help. Like there was a woman, she was a Devadasi, and they were not giving her a passport. And then we did a story due to which she got her passport. Plus, they're trying to bring some law
Changes in the law.
Small difference, right? That makes you feel
But it
happy.
makes a big difference
Yeah,
for her.
for her. Yeah, but that makes you feel happy for 2-3 days. But actually, my highlights are only like my
Cats.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's cute.
work is like very important. But if I start thinking idin impact undo adinille then
You can't function.
no, I can't function.
Okay, tell us about your
In fact, I
cats.
don't even tell them what is the impact. Like they keep asking എത്ര പേര് വായിച്ചു എത്ര
ആ,
നോക്കി. I won't
ഒരിക്കലും
tell.
പറയില്ല. Because ഒരിക്കലും പറയില്ല. ഞാൻ
Then
എപ്പോഴും ചോദിക്കും.
you understand.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think that should be the
writing
Yeah, so
factor.
she keeps saying that your story is your focus is what you're reporting on and what you're taking. We will not tell you the numbers.
YouTube. I don't have a control. They know exactly what is
Yeah.
in it.
You can just guess
Yeah.
it from that.
I like to
Yeah.
know all the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard full plan ചെയ്ത് ഇവര് planners ആണ്, you're like an ad libber, like അതുകൊണ്ട് they had no idea what are we talking about. Okay, even I don't have an idea. Tell me about your cats.
I have 4 cats.
Okay, yay.
Yeah, one is Twix, one is Shuri, one is Oreo, and Goldie.
Is it
But I'm
2 boys and 2 girls?
No, 3 boys and 1 girl.
Oh,
One is
girl.
an inside-outside cat.
Okay.
Recently, I realized that he is going to another house also,
Oh, he's a
and he's got another name there.
oh, shut up.
Yeah, I mean, it was really
He's a
hard.
gigolo.
So, but these guys made fun of me, so I'm
This is
never
which
gonna
one?
forgive
Who
them.
is this Twixo?
Goldie. No,
Oh, Goldie.
Goldie is going to another house, and he's called Geo there.
Goldie's a player.
Yeah.
Goldie's very good.
Goldie goes there and eats there and everything, and ധന്യന്റെ വീട്ടിലും
പെണ്ണുങ്ങളെ കാണാൻ വരും.
ഇവിടെ വന്നിട്ട് ഗോൾഡി ആയിട്ടും അവിടെ പോയിട്ട് ജിയോ ആയിട്ടും ജീവിക്കും.
Yeah, so I was very upset.
Oh, similar stuff happened to me. I mean, not similar. I told you, my girl cat was a boy cat. So,
Huh?
yeah, dude. My mother got a cat. Like, somebody gifted my mom a cat because she's been like, oh, so many dogs. Now I want a cat. Appa angane she got boy cat എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു because we like boys. Like, I don't know why. We like boys.
You're not a feminist.
No, I'm not. I'm a dogist. So, ഈ നാല് ആണുങ്ങൾ, and we thought പെണ്ണിനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന even പൊട്ടങ്ങളാണെങ്കിലും they'll go after the female, right? So I'm protecting the world, really. So now Luna's come in, girl, pretty, nice looking cat and all that. And one day after 2-3 months of having Luna, mom sends me a photo. Luna has balls. And I'm like, അമ്മേ. Like, Luna. അങ്ങനെ
ഇപ്പൊ മോളേന്ന് പിന്നെ മോഹനാക്കി.
പറ്റുന്നില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ ഇത് ഞങ്ങൾ മറ്റേ ജെൻഡറൊക്കെ മാറ്റി. I mean, മറ്റേ LGBTQ എല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്. But yeah, one second, I'm gonna cough. So you guys like dogs and cats? You have dogs and cats?
Yes, I have cats. അവർക്ക് പേര് ഒരു സമയത്ത് okay, I don't know if I should say this, but there was this one mother cat. അപ്പം മമ്മി അമ്മ പൂച്ച, അപ്പം മമ്മീന്ന് വിളിക്കും. പിന്നെ മമ്മി മമ്മു ആയി, പിന്നെ മമ്മു മമ്മുക്കയായി. അപ്പം
We don't have to worry about being trolled for feminism now.
What is the other pucha's name? Mohanlal.
so അങ്ങനെ നമ്മളങ്ങനെ
റീൽ കട്ട് ചെയ്തു. നിനക്ക് പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ കുറവാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ കൂടുതൽ കാണിച്ചു തരും.
So my friends would say, so my
You have
friends
a cat called Mamuka.
no, but
A female mummy cat called Mamuka.
so then Mammu, and then Mammu and one of my friends who came home was like, Mammu for Mammuka. It's like,
That's
no.
because he's called Mammoose or something.
Yeah, so and then നമ്മളിത് ആലോചിച്ചിട്ടേ ഇല്ല ഈ കണക്ഷൻ.
I don't know, man. I think you
Then-
deliberately did it.
No. And then പിന്നെ മക്കളൊക്കെ വന്നപ്പോ they were like, oh, what will you name now?
ദുൽഖറിനാണ് ഒരു
ഒരു വിഷയം
മറ്റേ ചുമ്മാ she's fapping. No, she's fapping. അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല. Anyway, that's Mammu. That's Mammu. Mammu has her kids. So there's Kunyi and there's Ba.
That's Dulkar only, no? See? ഇത് മനഃപൂർവ്വം
intention.
Okay, I don't have cats.
Do you have dogs?
No, I don't have dogs.
Okay, out of us, I guess.
ആരുമില്ല, ഞാൻ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ.
ഞാൻ മാത്രം ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി താമസിക്കാൻ ബോർഡും പുറത്ത് ഒട്ടിക്കിട്ട് ഒന്നുമില്ല.
I mean, I don't mind if like pets are around, but I'm not a huge. Yeah. They also don't mind if I'm around. Yeah. I like
You
them.
don't. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm not huge
I
about.
also I was very scared of dogs. മുമ്പ് എന്നെ പട്ടികൾ എന്നെ കാണുമ്പം എന്നെ തള്ളിയിടുക ഓടിക്കുകയൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലത്തെ എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ നടക്കുമായിരുന്നു. ചെറുതായി ഗോട്ട് ലൈക് കുഞ്ഞ് ഡോഗ്സ്. മൈ ഫ്രണ്ട് മീനാക്ഷി ഹാസ് എ ചിവാവ. സോ അങ്ങനെ I've gotten less scared of dogs and now I'm more comfortable. Athira's dog, Hazel, all those nice dogs have been around, and then now I'm
എന്നെ കുറെ പട്ടികൾ കടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്.
ഒന്നും സംഭവിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. ഞാനാണെങ്കിൽ പട്ടിനെയും പൂച്ചനെയൊക്കെ ഫീഡ് ചെയ്ത് സ്ട്രേ ഡോഗ്സ് ക്യാറ്റ്സ്
പട്ടിക്ക് അറിയാം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമല്ലെന്ന്.
ആരെ കടിക്കണം?
Dog lovers will throw you, Dhanya.
Tell us why did you get bit by dogs?
I don't know actually. I always it would
Chumma
be
varikana
after my
namma
friend and then I would go obviously to protect.
It's a friend's putty?
No, it'll be some roadside dog or it'll be somebody else's dog. And it would always go after my friend, but I over enthusiastically will go to protect and then I get bit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still with the dog.
Yeah, I am also with them. I don't have a problem.
You don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about like the highlights, the cats and all of that. What is the toughest thing about your job? And what's the most challenging?
I have to think. You tell, let me think.
കുറേ ഉണ്ടാവുമല്ലേ?
ഞാൻ ആലോചിക്കാം.
A challenge ആയിട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ what is the tough navigate ചെയ്യാൻ what's hard or is there something like that? I'm sure journalists will
Yeah,
have a
I'm
lot
trying
of
to
them.
think.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
First, of course, is just like getting through a daily grind, right? That's not easy. It
It's
is
always on അല്ലേ? 24.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, see, like I know that they get upset. Like Sukanya will be like, I'm triggered, I'm upset because they're doing some news. എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനത്തെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും I also feel like burden by the end of the day. So basically, like ഞാൻ film
ഈ തന്നെ വെറുതെ ഒരു zen അപ്പീലാണ്.
തന്നെ
You
ഭയങ്കര
get
triggered
triggered.
ആളാണ്.
You get angry.
You get triggered. ഞാൻ സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ trigger കാണാം.
എനിക്കറിയാം എന്റെ സ്റ്റോറി തീർക്കണം. Okay. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ these guys get triggered more. I'll tell you why. Because they're always watching ഈ sad ആയിട്ടുള്ള സീരിയലും ആൾക്കാർ കൊല്ലുന്ന
No,
ഫിലിമും.
who said that?
ഞാൻ
You're saying-
കഥ എന്താണ് സീരിയൽ ആണെങ്കിൽ അവസാനത്തെ എപ്പിസോഡ് ഞാൻ ആദ്യം പോയിട്ട് കാണും. അത് മരിക്കണ്ടോ തീരുമാനിക്കും. മരിക്കില്ല ഞാൻ പിന്നെ കാണും.
കാണില്ല.
You know what her favorite series is? The Fall. Where she is, this is some serial killer series. All her favorites are serial killer series and horror films.
Yeah, but
And
that's
she
okay.
told me some horror film. This is my favorite horror. ആ horror film ആ ഭൂതം വന്ന് ബാക്കിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കില്ലേ, അതാണ് എന്റെ ഫേവറേറ്റ്സ് എന്നൊക്കെ.
No, that is all okay, right? I'm saying romantic film ആൾക്കാർ മരിക്കുകയോ ചെയ്യില്ല, അങ്ങനത്തെ film കാണാൻ പറ്റില്ല.
അങ്ങനെ റൊമാൻസ് പാടില്ല.
What I'm just saying is that the most difficult thing is to get through the daily grind and to run a small
Because it's constant.
Yeah, and to run a small organization is not very easy.
Where do you find the money?
Exactly. Money is a constant problem. Like getting investors is media. Whoever invests has their own interest, right? So we don't want to take that money.
Propaganda.
We have one investor who's a media person himself, Raghav Bail. He ran CNN, the whole CNBC network. So he doesn't care what we do. He just puts money and then that's it. We can do what we want. But it's very difficult to get investors, which is why we started
subscription model.
Because people are asking why is this the public interest? Everything is public interest.
We need to survive.
നമ്മളില്ലെങ്കിൽ നാളെ ഈ കഥ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആര് പറഞ്ഞുതരും?
Wikipedia subscription ആണ് ഇപ്പോൾ.
Yeah. So exactly. So that is one. Money is a huge problem. Before I never used to worry about like ടൈംസ് നമുക്ക് ജീവിക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് സുഖം, നമ്മളെ ഫ്ലൈറ്റ് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നു, ഒരു പ്രശ്നമില്ല.
ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ട്രെയിൻ എടുക്കാനൊക്കെ പറയും.
പിന്നെ ഞാൻ നടക്കാൻ പറയും, ട്രെയിനോ. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ക്വൈറ്റ് ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട്. അത്രയൊന്നും ഇല്ല. ഈ കുട്ടി ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്ന് വരുന്നുണ്ട്, മനസ്സിലായല്ലോ.
അത്ര ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടില്ല.
In the sense, it is.
No, I hear you.
I'm very happy that these guys do, all of them, like, they really try to save money in whatever ways possible. They keep asking because that realization is there, right? ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഞാൻ ചീത്ത പറയും, എല്ലാരും പോയിക്കോ, വലിയ പേപ്പറിലൊക്കെ പോയിട്ട് ജോയിൻ.
അപ്പൊ ഞാനും മൈ കൊളീഗ് ലക്ഷ്മി, ഞങ്ങൾ രണ്ടുപേരും പാനിക്ക്. അപ്പൊ ലക്ഷ്മി എന്നെ വിളിക്കും, ഡു യു തിങ്ക് ധന്യ റിയലി വാണ്ട്സ് us to leave?
If you keep repeating Zen, you don't become Zen.
I think that's what she thinks.
But the most important challenge is young ആയിട്ടുള്ള reporters വരുമ്പോ to really tell them not to take abuse on social media too much to heart. And everybody goes through that process. I mean, even now people will be impacted. Like in the everybody sending me the same thing. They'll all pretend like they are okay with it, but I know they are not. They're actually feeling bad about it.
And that's more prevalent in the younger journalists?
It is prevalent in everyone, but it impacts them more because they're not used to the
intensity,
right? Intensity. അതാ പ്രശ്നം. ലൈക്ക് അത് വരുന്ന ഒരു ഇന്ന് ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ എൻ്റെ ഒരു സ്വിം സൂട്ട് ഫോട്ടോ ഉണ്ട്. അത് എൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട് ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാമിലിട്ട സ്വിം സൂട്ട് ഫോട്ടോ ആണ്. എന്തെന്നെ ട്രോൾ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിലും അതിടും. ഭാഗ്യത്തിന് ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് അതിൽ കാണാൻ കൊള്ളാം, അതുകൊണ്ട് പ്രശ്നമില്ല. പക്ഷേ they think it is a shame. Right?
What is the problem?
That is because I'm a political journalist. swim suit നടക്കുന്നു, അങ്ങനെ ഇടും. So the point is, for a lot of young people, it actually really impacts them. എത്രയോ ആൾക്കാർ they feel like ഇത് പൈസയും കിട്ടുന്നില്ല ഈ ജോലിയിൽ, തെറിയും കേൾക്കണം, എത്ര കാലം കേൾക്കും. So that is how they get burnt out. Yeah, people get burnt out a lot because of that. ഈ സുകന്യക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും എഴുതുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങും അങ്ങോട്ട് MRA attack. പിന്നെ I have stopped tagging people.
MRA is men's rights.
I was like MRA mate scan.
Allah.
men's rights activists.
Oh shoot, that's a topic. Okay, nice.
So it's quite difficult. I mean, some people feel very like unsafe.
So that's one of the big challenges, that along with the daily grind
and legal cases plus physical
case കുറെ ഉണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ?
30-35 ഉണ്ട്.
അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ.
ലോയർ ഉണ്ട്.
കാര്യമില്ലല്ലോ,
പ്രാക്ടീസിംഗ് ലോയർ
മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. പ്രാക്ടീസിംഗ് അല്ല, but we have lots of lawyers who really help us.
You have.
They take cases for very less money or mostly nothing, pro bono. So that really helps us.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and physical safety of reporters, like every pombo.
Yeah.
I mean, we also do a lot of things against problematic far right wing and all that. You have to, we have a set process.
Okay.
Live location iconum.
Okay, you've got all that in place.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a bit scary out there.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when.
It is.
Tell us about your toughest thing that you face.
I think എൻ്റെ ടെമ്പറമെന്റിന് കുറച്ച് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആണ് ഈ ഡെയിലി പ്രസന്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഡെയിലി എല്ലാത്തിലും ഇൻവോൾവ് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളത്. എൻ്റെ ഒരു കുറച്ച് ലേഡ് ബാക്ക്, കുറച്ച് ആങ്ഷ്യസ് ടെമ്പറമെന്റിന് കുറച്ച് കോൺട്രഡിക്ടറി ആണ്. സോ ഫോർ മീ, ഐ തിങ്ക് calming myself down at the end of the day and going back to the things I like, and also I also write long form. പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ ന്യൂസിലാകുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ആ ഒരു ഭയങ്കര ഫോമോ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യും കുറച്ച് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ. യു വോണ്ട് ടു നോ എവറിത്തിങ്. സോ ടു കീപ് എവറിത്തിങ് ഔട്ട് ആൻഡ് ടു പ്രിസർവ് ദി അതർ പാർട്സ് ഓഫ് മീ ദാറ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ടു ഡു അതർ തിങ്സ്, എൻ്റെ ആ ഹോൾസംനെസ്സിലോട്ട് തിരിച്ചു പോകാന്നുള്ളതാണ് എനിക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന ചാലഞ്ച്, അലോങ് വിത്ത് എവറിത്തിങ് എൽസ്. ലൈക്ക് സർവൈവിങ് ദ ഡെയിലി ഗ്രൈൻഡ് ഇസ് ഓൾസോ ലെറ്റിംഗ് ദ വെയിറ്റ് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ് ഓഫ്. You have you're focused, ഇത് ഇന്ന് ചെയ്യണം, ഇത് നാളെ ചെയ്യണം. You may have other things in between. So to be that hyper focused in work and be cognizant of ഒരു 100 facts കാണും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ കാണും. അപ്പൊ ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ച് ഇത് ചെയ്തിട്ട് at the end of the day to also understand, not just switch off, to understand that there's more to you as a person.
And are you able
because
to?
I try.
Okay,
because
so that's the struggle.
It can't be that the grind can't be your entire life. You need to have other things, like Dhanya has a cats.
What do you have?
Mamuka
And kunyi.
Kunyu
അല്ല കുഞ്ഞിയല്ലേ? Kunyu.
Yeah, but I have books. I watch a lot of movies like Dhanya, but I watch not sad movies also.
Like
my friends, I talk, and I mean, I would like to travel more. പക്ഷെ അതിനെല്ലാം നമ്മൾ ഈ സമയം കണ്ടിട്ട് നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ ഇത് കഴിയട്ടെ അപ്പൊ ഇപ്പൊ I keep telling myself, no, you have to do more of that. So for me, that's
your thing. കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചാ?
Yeah, I think I struggled. I mean, I think the toughest thing is about journalism is to continue doing it because of all the challenges
Yeah.
in it. But I did reach a point, say 3 years ago, when I really thought that no, I probably don't want to do this anymore because I wasn't making money in the way that I wanted to. I didn't want to be anymore at a point in life where I was constantly thinking about how do I get through this month. And just the physical safety aspect. One thing has to work
Yeah,
somewhere
something,
to
yeah.
keep it going. And it is at that point that I met Dhanya. And
Yay, savior!
കൂടുതൽ പൊക്കി പറഞ്ഞേ.
നമ്മളെ പൊക്കണേ.
ഒരു കോപം പൊക്കുന്നില്ല, നിന്നെ അതിനകത്തേക്ക് ഇട്ടിട്ടു.
She was very zen in that meeting.
I know.
No, but പറ.
ഇത് പൊക്കാം മമ്മൂട്ടിക്കൊണ്ട് കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞോണ്ട് ഇനി പൊക്കാം.
എന്തായാലും കിട്ടിക്കോളാം സ്വന്തമായിട്ട്.
No, but I feel like I have constructed a niche for myself now, which allows me to do. So long form, there's a certain stamina that you need for it, which I am actively trying to build in every way possible.
So tell me about this long form, as in it just keeps going. Like, what is long form? I'm so
But
sorry.
I do tell her to do short form in between.
She tells me. So I decided that I only want to do, say, 2 or 3 stories in a year maximum.
And then follow it through.
I do think in the daily news grind, everything becomes about breaking news in the sense you keep saying what's happened. And for example, in a
tabloidy
case of
thing.
sexual violence, it's about this extraordinary act of violence. And then you don't sort of realize what it takes for a survivor to keep going back to court, the layers of violence, what the justice process takes you through. So I was more keen to look at stories that have happened years ago and to really understand what this does to all the people involved in the case, including perpetrators, and how they have started to look at the case and themselves in this whole situation.
So a long form could literally go for years, like it like
I think
But I think long form കുറച്ച് അഹങ്കാരമുണ്ട്. അതായത്
he just called it a hungary.
Did she just say long form guy?
No, before she completes her sentence, I'll tell you what she's about to say. It is of course built on a lot of the work that daily news people do, because you don't get to go back on stories that way. So acknowledgement given to TNM for all the work that they do every single day and everything Dhanya goes through. But that's why it's difficult for me to right now think of what is the toughest thing. There is, of course, like, yes, there are points in the story where I'm really struggling, or physically on field it feels unsafe. Yeah, but given the fact that I've tried to build this niche for myself, I feel like right now I should just be happy with what I have.
Yeah, you're
And
better off than
found
you
a
were.
decent space where I can also take care of myself. So I consume a lot of Kardashians.
Yeah.
I consume,
wow.
I
Yes.
consume a massive amount of
Because you
keeping
need
up with the
something
Kardashians.
absolutely
Yeah.
mindless.
ഞാൻ
I read a lot of
I
fiction.
told all my friends that I don't know about Kardashians.
How can you
How can you not know about Kardashians?
Okay.
ഞാൻ കാണാറില്ല,
I
but
know about them.
eh?
I don't know the show and all that. My God, days.
I
My
think
husband
what they're
now
doing is a public service, huh?
explain for 2 hours.
Like helping
of
people
course.
just unwind
Yeah,
and not think.
yeah.
It's basically just mindless television and good-looking people.
Yeah,
I mean, in
but I
their own
also
way.
think that what they've done
it's a formula.
as a matriarchal family,
It's a formula.
right? It's not an easy thing.
No.
And of course, there's a lot of problems
And
with
they
how
know
they
it's very
posture.
sellable also.
Yeah.
And other they're marketing it out, and what is wrong?
But men have done this.
Yeah, what is
So
wrong?
why
Yeah.
not? Yeah. I love
Obviously,
consuming
she's
it.
a fan.
She's a secret fan, I feel.
No, I've never watched it.
പിന്നെ
I
watch
also
other
haven't
things.
watched it, but obviously we know about
I
this.
have.
Oh, yeah. But I can live in a world where I'm very unaware of things. This was one
Maybe
of
you
those
don't
things.
switch off. Maybe she's constantly on the.
So that's the other privilege that I have. I
Ah.
feel like I now can exist in a space where I can say I know about this case. Don't ask me about 10 other things.
That's also a privilege.
Which is not possibly the ideal situation in the world of journalism. But I've realized, like, to do a story for 8 months, it's not possible for me to keep up with every single thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've accepted that.
Hey, this whole men's right, MRI, right?
MRA.
Oh, sorry, men's rights activist. അത് നമ്മുടെ ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് പോലെയുള്ള മിനിസ്റ്റർ ആണ്. എന്താണ് ഈ സാധനം? അല്ല, എന്താണ്? അല്ല, എനിക്കൊന്ന് അറിയണം നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു അഭിപ്രായം. Because ഇപ്പൊ മറ്റേ
everybody. Feminist believes in equal rights.
only men can become MRAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are
no,
women
there
also.
are women.
But you can't say that.
Actually, one of the loudest voices
Yeah.
of MRAs in India is the woman.
See.
Yeah.
And all the men take pride in that. But I had spoken to her once and I asked her, don't you think it's ironic And she said, no, they can't do it properly. That's why. അതും കൂടി അവരെ വിശ്വസിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല.
ഇത് റീഡാക്കണേ. അപ്പൊ അവളുടെ നിന്ന് കിട്ടും,
അവന്റെ രണ്ട് സൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടും. നമുക്ക് എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. ആ കുട്ടി ആരാണെന്നൂടെ എനിക്ക് പിന്നെ പറഞ്ഞു തരൂ.
ഇല്ല.
ഡി വെച്ച് തുടങ്ങും, എ വെച്ച് അവസാനിക്കും.
അയ്യോ
അയ്യോ
കുഴപ്പമില്ല, അങ്ങനെ കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല. തെറി കിട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരുമിച്ച് വയ്ക്കാം.
but she said that I think I do it better.
Oh wow, a
Yeah.
confidence.
ഇവിടെ ഭയങ്കര മൂവ്മെന്റ് ആണല്ലോ ഇപ്പൊ
അല്ലല്ല,
കേരളത്തില്.
And what? That's what, as a reporter, as a journalist, അതൊന്നും അല്ലാത്ത ഞാൻ തന്നെ ഇത് കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണല്ലോ. And as a long-term feminist, long-form feminist, I don't know what's going on. Like, how do you guys see this movement?
No, see, obviously there are a lot of men whose rights are being violated. You take so many examples, right? Extrajudicial violence, torturing. We all talk for men. But these people are talking only in relation to anything which has men and women in it. For example, divorce, a crime where a woman has murdered a man or a man has murdered a woman. Even a men's rights activism is only limited to men and gender thing, right?
No, and so it's launched from the shoulder of the feminist movement. So it's
അല്ല, അതാ
always
ഞാൻ ഫെമിനിസം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത്.
it's always അത് ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് മൂവ്മെന്റിന് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ
ഒരു കൗണ്ടർ ആയിട്ടാണ്.
റൈറ്റ്സിൽ നമ്മൾ അതിനെ കുറിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാരെ ഒരു ആന്റഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു സ്പേസ് എന്നാണ് അവരത് ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നത് തന്നെ.
അതെ.
Because I honestly, I mean, it's a very complex thing, I think, but I honestly do think, like Dhanya said, yes, patriarchy, we are living in a patriarchal society that's also casteist and all of that. And men do have problems, even young boys, mental health, sexuality, a lot of things they have problems with, which if they feel that, like, it's gender is also a lived experience. Like, so if they feel they are better understood by other men and they want to, like, organize and talk about their problems, there's no problem
Go
with
for
that.
it.
Yeah, but that can't be launched from the shoulders of, the feminist movement and say, okay, this is our enemy and this is who we are going for.
No, my problem is not even that. For example, there are some men's rights groups, not in India, which do focus on men's mental health and stuff like
Yeah.
that. അതൊക്കെ ശരിയാവുന്നു കുഴപ്പമില്ല. I fight more for men's rights than these men's rights activists do.
Yeah.
We have done an entire series this year on police excesses across
Yes.
states where policemen kill people.
Yes.
99%, not even 100% of them are.
men.
I don't know any woman
Yeah.
who has been killed in a shooting,
Custody.
in a custody death or torture, right?
Yeah.
We fight for men's rights every single day.
But
So
they
you-
don't, that's
yeah,
not
you don't
news
tell me
enough.
that you're fighting for men's rights. You're only fighting for men's rights when a woman asks for alimony.
And also when it's
Yeah.
really public and loud.
Yeah, or a woman like Kerala, what is that case where the woman killed the Grishma and yeah.
കുറെ ഉണ്ട്.
അങ്ങനെ കുറെ കേസുകളുണ്ടല്ലോ.
She got തൂക്കുകയായിരുന്നു.
So they want a men's rights commission. പിന്നെ the loudest person is in jail now, right? Rahul Ishwar. So yeah. നമ്മള് silence. 10 seconds silence.
2 minutes silence. ഒന്നും പറയാനില്ല.
30 seconds silence.
Yeah.
2 minutes later.
But most of it is Bengaluru based, actually speaking.
ആണോ?
It started with a popular cricketer's wife's first husband started one of the first organizations like this.
What is the purpose? Is it a proper, like, a registered group?
It starts from anger. Most of it is
It doesn't. Firstly, if it starts from anger, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. പക്ഷേ ഇതൊരു proper group ആയിട്ട് association.
But there are very, very big
Okay.
groups. Yeah.
Yeah, very
They
often.
Like in
speak-
Delhi, they have meetups every
SIFF, right?
yeah.
SIFF
So
is-
every month they have a meetup, and I actually don't think it's a bad thing in the sense that
Yeah.
a lot of men come together collectively to talk about their
Their
mental
problems.
health,
Yeah.
where they feel like they can freely
Justified.
communicate. I mean, if you want to take out your emotions there rather than at home, then why not?
Sure.
Right? So that's not a bad thing, but I do think a lot of anger comes from divorce, alimony settlement.
I have a gradient here. I have to say this. Okay, I have a friend of mine. Okay, who went through a divorce, who's got a few kids, and quite a fair person. The guy is, but he got like a bad deal out of it. Like, he can't see his kids now. They use the kids to control him. ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു narrative ആണ്. And then I see the anger, the sadness that he can't spend time. So as a man, I felt really bad for the guy because the systemic, the systemic issues ഉണ്ട്. Because കോടതിയിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ
അതൊന്നും deny ചെയ്തില്ല
അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ കുറെ പുരുഷന്മാരുണ്ട്.
Yeah.
But is this MRAs actually helping these sort of guys?
The MRAs portray as if women go and ask for a certain amount and
cash
you get it. It doesn't work like that.
No.
It is not decided by just the woman, right? She
And
can
they
quote.
can't take some middle class, upper class woman's example. Somebody took 10 lakhs, somebody took 1 crore. Alimony in this country is for the poorest woman. 2000
Yeah.
വീട്ടുന്ന
പക്ഷെ
ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്. 3000
കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്
ഇവര്
അല്ലേ?
കൊടുക്കുന്നില്ല. There are
ആ.
so many women fighting for
Yeah.
2000 rupee alimony per month.
Yeah, yeah.
അതുപോലും കിട്ടാത്ത ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്.
Yeah.
So you can't take, like random examples and then make your movement only based on that. And like jail നിന്ന് വരുന്ന sexual assault perpetrators നെ പോയിട്ട് മാലിടുക. These are bad examples, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're fighting for? If you're fighting for men's rights, then fight for men's rights properly.
Yeah, because like Dhanya said, even with this alimony, I think last year or last year I'd done a long form story on how maintenance, as is still arduous for women to access. Appo adile njan samsaricha സ്ത്രീകൾ or all people who come from rural backgrounds, marginalized by caste and everything, and they speak about how their husbands would avoid their call. ഇവർക്ക് വക്കീലിനെ വെക്കാൻ പൈസ ഇല്ല. ഒരു ധന്യ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ 1000 രൂപ 2000 രൂപയൊക്കെ മാസം, അതും 2 കുട്ടികളൊക്കെ ഉള്ള സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് അവർ
Please.
അത്രയായിരിക്കും ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ അതുപോലും കൊടുക്കില്ല. And they will manipulate records in the court, they will abscond, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ. So that is the, I think.
No, but this is a time, right? When you are patriarchal government, you will see patriarchal movements.
Yes.
അതാണ് നമ്മൾക്ക് സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്. അത് മനസ്സിലാക്കാനുള്ള ബുദ്ധി. So, for example, mainstream media picks up when a man dies by suicide, they immediately pick it up now.
Look at
And
the number of
they have lots of, especially English people, who are not at all bothered by private individual stories. ഇതെടുക്കും. Because it is a thing, right? It's ideologically we are moving towards something like that. So we have to resist more loudly. If we don't resist more loudly, നമ്മൾ അറിയാതെ ഇത് പാസ് ചെയ്ത് ഇങ്ങനെ നമ്മളുടെ വീട്ടിലേക്കും വരും.
And it's also happening globally. I feel everywhere the surge of right wing, the anti-immigrant movement, and there is, along with all of this, there is also this niche rise of these MRA figures like Andrew Tate and all. അവിടെ അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ അവർ യൂട്യൂബേഴ്സ് അങ്ങനത്തെ figures, and children are picking up on it, adolescents are picking up on it. So like Dhanya said, that slowly that tone is being set. So if we don't,
it's a narrative being set by
yes, because
the system.
it's connected with everything, being
So
conservative.
what's the counter to that narrative?
We have to keep speaking. No, like I have
Yeah.
a 14-year-old son. I know exactly how they talk. Like I'm pretty obsessed with how teenagers talk.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
Tell
Like,
us, we don't have kids.
I don't know if it can be aired,
Can you
but
talk like
Tell us how he talks.
I mean, normal stuff they'll say I'm very sus. No cap. Like they have
ഒരു ഐഡിയ
no cap?
no cap.
Yeah,
അതൊക്കെ
they have a lot of their, you don't have riz. Right. They have a lot of their own.
And then you said something else, cooked.
I'm
yeah,
very cooked.
I'm very cooked.
There are lots of, that is not
What
a
is
problem.
cooked?
Like basically
തല ഒരു brand ചെയ്യുന്ന.
Yeah.
Brain fried.
അങ്ങനെ കുറേ they have
I
lots of
ate it.
words,
Yeah.
but
I left crumbs on the അങ്ങനെ എന്തൊക്കെയോ.
they girls call each other like slut, whore.
Okay.
And
And that's cool.
yeah, I mean
okay.
I don't know how that is empowering. I mean, whatever way you think it can't be, right? And yeah, like there is this line which
ഞങ്ങൾ ആലോചിക്കാം നോക്കട്ടെ അത് empowering ആവാൻ വഴിയുണ്ടോ
അങ്ങനത്തെ എല്ലാവരും ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്. They are
അല്ല
using it in the same
slut
sense
horror
itself.
അല്ല.
They're using the same sense when people have two
Oh.
boyfriends and all that.
Oh
So I don't know how that is empowering. Pinna, they have this thing, I don't know what Andrew Tate says. He says, I have a Bugatti or I have a Lamborghini. I don't know which car it is. So that is their life. Basically, you have to become successful, which means money.
This is your son.
No. A lot of teenagers. മകനെ അടിക്കും.
അല്ല I'm saying people 14 വയസ്സുള്ള കുട്ടികളുടെ പ്രായക്കാരില്
You remember ഇവിടെ തൊപ്പി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരുത്തനെ arrest ചെയ്തത്?
തൊപ്പി that YouTuber boy.
Sukanya watch like hundreds of videos of Topi.
I had to write about it.
He's also ഇങ്ങനെയാണോ?
പിന്നെ അവന്റെ
ഞാൻ
വീഡിയോയിലൊക്കെ
കാണാം.
അവൻ ഫുൾ സ്ത്രീകളെ തെറി പറയും. Like he's continuously, I don't know if you know about this, is a guy
Yeah,
got arrested. Yeah. So അവന്റെ video game, he is a gamer.
And then live ആയിട്ട് കാണിക്കും, right? That's
കാണിക്കുക. അവൻ ഇങ്ങനെ പറയാൻ മാത്രം like അച്ഛേ അങ്ങനെ like really
explicit
obscene stuff, like actions and everything. He went to inaugurate some electronic shop or എന്തോ. Full പിള്ളേർ 7ാം ക്ലാസ് 8ാം ക്ലാസ് പഠിക്കുന്ന പിള്ളേരെ cut class to see him. ഇവരാണ് ഇത് കാണുന്നത്. It is there in every language now. And parents are very blissfully unaware of
That's
this.
because they don't communicate with the kids.
Whatever it is, and kids know what not to communicate.
How do I mean I'm going to ask you this because you dealing with kids that age. How do you deal with it? If it's do you know like how ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല?
I can just know about
You
anything
snoop.
on that.
ഒന്നുമില്ല.
That is all. You cannot
എന്താ
say that in a public
What did she
setting.
say?
No.
She said എന്താ പറഞ്ഞേ?
She said
The mic is already caught.
God, I didn't hear it. I missed it.
heard it.
Damn it, I have to rewind this later when I hear it.
I said I snoop.
She just does a mom.
She doesn't communicate.
She does mom.
She's
No, but others do
She
tell.
is
Others do tell me.
she
Others
is a
do tell me.
journalist.
Yeah.
It's part of her.
Yeah, exactly. I do snoop when needed, but a lot of people do tell me truthfully,
Yeah.
voluntarily,
Yeah.
because I'm a friendly Zen person. Yeah.
Like the biggest lie ever. Now I'm figuring. Now she's friendly also.
Yeah.
Earlier she was only Zen.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, allegedly.
Alla, but tell me, journalists, you guys are single, alle? Are you
No, no, no.
I mean, you
No,
guys
I'm
are not
not
married.
single.
Unmarried.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're unmarried.
Yeah, എനിക്ക് unmarried single ഒക്കെ ഒരുപോലെയാ. You're the only married one. And the equation you're seeing someone.
No.
Just looking for someone. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So, അല്ല,
അതായത് ജേർണലിസ്റ്റ് ആവാൻ പറ്റില്ല ബിക്കോസ് അപ്പൊ എല്ലാം
എല്ലാം
പ്രാരാബ്ദം.
പ്രാരാ. അല്ല, so
അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല.
ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ ജേർണലിസ്റ്റ് ഒക്കെ
no.
വേണം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ ജേർണലിസ്റ്റ് ഒന്നും പറ്റില്ല.
ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ ജേർണലിസ്റ്റ് ഒക്കെ വേണമോ?
Personal attack on Nidhi.
കിട്ടുകയല്ല. അല്ല, അപ്പം does it affect like married, your husband's part of it? You took all his money and started this, you said, right?
He's still there, he's the CEO.
He's the CEO.
Yeah.
Good. So he's full time into this, or does he have another job that funds this
No,
one?
No, he's full time into this.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but journalist plus journalist ano? Alla, just
No, he's not
CEO.
a journalist. He was an HR manager. Now he's become a CEO.
Okay, so since you're both in this, it shouldn't be a problem.
No. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Like
Uh,
when I used to work for TV, I was telling them yesterday that ഞാൻ ചിലപ്പോ I would have forgotten that he existed. ഞാൻ എവിടെയെങ്കിലും പോയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. Like they would tell me, go here. ഞാൻ അവിടെ ബാഗ് എടുത്ത് പോയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. പിന്നെ അവിടെ എത്തുമ്പോൾ ആലോചിക്കും, അയ്യോ പറയാൻ
പറയാൻ മറന്നു എന്നൊക്കെ നടക്കും.
മെസ്സേജ് സെയിങ് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ തീ പിടിച്ചോണ്ട് ഇവിടെ വന്നു അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെ ബിൽഡിംഗ് കൊണ്ട് അവിടെ പോയി. So I would just like leave.
Really?
But he got used to it, so he has no problem. So that way it's fine. Yeah. At one point I was very worried because nobody in the newsroom was dating. നമ്മള് ഭയങ്കര പണി കൊടുത്തതാണ്
അവരുടെ ലൈഫ് തന്നെ കൊളാക്കി കളഞ്ഞു.
So like all the guys, there are only 4 or 5 guys.
Okay.
എപ്പോഴും we have only 4 or 5 guys. So then I messaged each of them saying that അല്ല ഞാൻ
You know you are allowed to date എന്നൊക്കെ.
So then I like ഞാൻ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. So I'm like, oh എനിക്ക് അറിയാത്താണല്ലേ. Then I stopped. I realized that
Everybody's doing it. They should
Yeah,
not
yeah.
tell
You
you.
thought they're all coming and telling you.
no
About
most
their
of them
life.
tell me, so I was like worried that ഇനി ഞാൻ നീ ചെയ്താലും I'm giving them too much work and ഒരു
Dhanya
സമയം
friendly and Zen ആയതുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാവരും
അതെ.
പറയുമായിരിക്കും.
പറയാത്തതാ.
അതെ.
But tell me about this. What do you see? Because you guys deal with so many, like I think a lot of, എന്താ പറയാ, ഇപ്പൊ political ആണെങ്കിലും, sexual violence ആണെങ്കിലും, you guys are more, on the ground talking to these sort of people. What is, according to you, some of the biggest problems out there that is prevalent, that needs systemic change? Like systemic change എല്ലാത്തിനും വേണം തോന്നുന്നു. But is there like a നമുക്ക് വളരെ like for example, എനിക്ക് one of my major things that I feel strongly about is parenting, right? I think ഈ കുട്ടികളുടെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് I think കുട്ടികളെ നന്നായി പഠിപ്പിക്കണം as in they should learn.
അത്ര എളുപ്പമൊന്നുമല്ല.
Because she's a parent, right? You can say that. No, which is why I'm asking. I keep saying that I see ഞാൻ നല്ലതാണോ എൻ്റെ ജനറേഷൻ നല്ലതാണോ എന്നല്ല, പക്ഷെ ഒരു ചേഞ്ച് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് in the youngsters. അവരുടെ ഒരു the way they are, അവരുടെ lack of a lot of things. Good things are there too, but I'm going to focus on the not so good things. I just feel that is because the parents also play an important role. As the only parent here, do you take the
we
blame?
had parents.
We also have.
As the only parent here.
As in, yeah, we are, except for dog parents and cat
So
parents.
ഞങ്ങൾ ന്യൂസ് മിനിറ്റില് തുടക്കത്തിലെ I made സൗമ്യ write an article about how everybody doesn't have to be a full time good mom. അത് അതിനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ടും കൂടിയാണ് നമ്മള്
ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്
Biased article ആയിരുന്നു.
biased ആയിട്ടുള്ള
നമ്മളൊരു ഒരു ലൈസൻസ് ഫോർ പീപ്പിൾ ലൈക്ക് me. അതും തുടങ്ങാം നമുക്ക്. I don't know, like a lot of parents I think are just unaware of what the hell is happening around them.
Is that good though?
I mean, that isn't the hope that children will grow out of all that shit and become good people, bad people or whatever. But no, knowing it is really shocking because the language they use, like,
Exactly
Yeah.
my point.
no, I don't think they can take it if they know it.
The parents.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Let them grow. Like whatever.
അങ്ങനെയല്ല, you have to be aware to a small
And
extent.
maybe see
But
that's
you can't police too much.
no, but that's because they're 14 and 15. That's a tougher age to police.
Yeah.
But you can when they're very young. I'm saying just teach them morality, civic sense. കുറച്ച് ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ അതുപോലും ഇല്ലാന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നുണ്ട്. It might sound like a 43-year-old woman sitting in judgment on all the kids in the world.
I'm learning a very tough lesson at home. ഇതൊക്കെ ഞാൻ തുടക്കത്തിൽ ചെയ്തിട്ട് മൊറാലിറ്റി
ഒരു കോപ്പുമില്ല.
ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് തിരിച്ചു നല്ലോണം കിട്ടും. Why do you still like Harry Potter? J.K. Rowling is the author.
അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ.
അപ്പൊ ലൈക്ക് എനിക്ക് ശരിക്കും കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട് തിരിച്ച്.
അല്ല, അവർക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ബുദ്ധിയല്ല, what knowledge ഉണ്ട്.
പിന്നെ അവൻ പറയും
Are you saying you like Harry Potter?
Yeah, she does.
then my son will say I'll just say Jai Shri Ram here.
Oh.
അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ like he knows how to provoke me. So it's very if you're too woke also it's very bad because it can really come back.
So sometimes
Yeah.
just having that
ഞാൻ എങ്ങനെയോ കുട്ടി വളർന്നോട്ടെ
എങ്ങനെയെങ്കിലും
അങ്ങ് വളർന്നാ മതി
എങ്ങനെയെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് അപ്പുറത്തെ സൈഡിലേക്ക് ഒന്ന് എത്തിയാൽ മതി
അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ.
ടാറ്റ ബൈ ബൈ.
ഞാൻ പറയും മോനെ നീ പഠിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിൽ നല്ല ചെറിയ ജോലിയൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ചെറിയ വീടൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിൽ താമസിക്കരുത്.
വേറെ എവിടെയെങ്കിലും പോയി താമസിച്ച് എന്ത് കുപ്പണം ചെയ്ത്. What do you do to chill? I mean, your work is so stressful. Like you said, what do you do to just like unwind other than Kardashians?
I really enjoy reading fiction.
Yeah?
So I have a very clear reading routine as part of the day, which also, like, for me, it's all things that add up to being able to also work efficiently. You really need to do that. So I like reading fiction. I actually don't have a lot of hobbies. I've seen a lot of my friends have a lot of hobbies. They have a lot of interest. They're curious about a lot of things. I'm not. I feel like I've been lucky to know that I like to do one thing, and I wake up and I only do that. And then I read and I watch the Kardashians and I go to sleep.
And then call Dhanya.
I call Dhanya 10 times a day. She's
know
literally
what's the
my
plan.
most chatted
No, Dhanya will say, I will
chat
block
box.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her most used.
I'll
That's
call
your day.
Dhanya. And I like to take a vacation.
Every once in a
Twice a year, after once the story's out, I'll go for a 2-week vacation.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's pretty in control.
Hint and hint.
ഇപ്പൊ വരുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. എങ്ങോട്ട് പോയെ?
I went to Europe.
Oh, nice.
എല്ലാരും വിചാരിക്കും നമ്മളെല്ലാരും പൈസയുടെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇവിടെ യൂറോപ്പിൽ പോയോ.
അതൊന്നും കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല. ചീപ്പ് ടിക്കറ്റ്സ് ഒക്കെ കിട്ടും.
Sukanya, you write poems.
Yeah.
You didn't know?
No, I know, but I didn't know that
I was awarded
Yeah.
All India Poetry Prize.
അതാ ബോർഡിൽ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല.
അത് എഴുതിയിട്ടില്ല അല്ലേ?
അതിപ്പോ add ചെയ്തു.
നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത പ്രാവശ്യം പോയി ആഡ് ചെയ്യാം.
I work out also. ഞാൻ മറന്നു പോയി.
sure.
എനിക്ക് ട്രെയിനറൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. ഞാൻ മറന്നു പോയി.
ട്രെയിനർ ഉണ്ട് ജിമ്മില്.
അതെ.
അവിടെ പോയി വർക്ക്ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യും.
ഇല്ല, വീട്ടുകാരെ.
അവിടെ വരെ പോകാനുള്ള സമയമില്ല. What do you do to chill other than poetry?
No, poetry. No. What do I do to chill?
Oh shit.
I think I'm never chill.
അയ്യോ
കഷ്ടായല്ലോ. എന്താ സുകന്യ? ചില്ലേണ്ടി
Yo,
വരുമല്ലോ.
I watch a lot of ഈ Kardashians പോലെ തന്നെ, but there are
ഏതാ?
really Malayali versions
Tell us.
of Kardashians ഒക്കെ ഞാൻ ഇരുന്ന്
എന്റെ
കാണും.
പൊന്നേ,
Kardashians ഓ?
മലയാളി
What is this?
യൂട്യൂബേഴ്സിനൊക്കെ ഞാൻ കാണും, എല്ലാം കാണും. I watch.
അത് സത്യമാണ് എല്ലാം അറിയാം.
Come on, that helps you.
Tell us who. We also want to watch.
I watch everything. I watch a lot of reels. I watch all those technologia എന്ന് പറയുന്ന reels ഒക്കെ ഇല്ലേ? When somewhere in Uttar Pradesh,
She
one
knows
man-
every cat in your house, every dog. She knows the cushions because she's watched all your
It's good. I mean, she's that person.
Yeah, so I'm that person. My friends incidentally make fun of me saying any investigative journalist ആവണം because they
എല്ലാം
say
അറിയാം.
something and I'm like അവരുടെ വീട്ടിൽ കഴിഞ്ഞ ആഴ്ച ഇങ്ങനെ
ആ മതിലിൽ ഇപ്പൊ ചെടി
ഇങ്ങനെ
ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
സംഭവിച്ചു. So I watch a lot of
And you
these.
find like mindless items it's just easy for you.
It's mindless, but sometimes I'm also jealous of how much money they're making with this.
നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങാം ഒരു cat channel.
I'm jealous of how much money. Hint.
അത് വേണ്ട.
Like collabs and all of that. I don't.
എനിക്കും വേണം collab.
No, I'm not saying this that ഇവര് വെറുതെ പൈസ, പക്ഷെ ഇത് ഭയങ്കര മെറ്റിക്കുലസ് പരിപാടിയാണ് to run a full YouTube channel and monetize it. I could never do it. പക്ഷെ
It's a lot
I
of work,
watch it
trust
and I
me.
feel like, oh, people are all doing this and all. Sometimes I'm concerned, sometimes I'm worried, sometimes I watch it like that. And I listen to a lot of music. I like music. ഈ അടുത്തിടെ എന്റെ സ്പോട്ടിഫൈ റാപ്പ് പറഞ്ഞത് my listening age is 18 ആണ്.
80?
Yeah. Because I listen to
What
a lot
do you
of
listen to?
music from the 60s.
Oh,
So
അപ്പൊ 80 ആയി.
I don't
Oh.
have music app.
അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ
don't
കുറേ
listen to
പാട്ട്
music.
കേൾക്കും.
But I have Spotify now because I have my podcast.
അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ എന്നെ തന്നെ കേൾക്കും full time.
When I watch, then I go over to my friends' place. My friends here have really raised me because a lot of the times during the year, I'm by myself because my father's a journalist. He works abroad. He works in Doha. So Amma keeps shuttling between him and me. Appo I go to my friend's place. പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ അവിടെയും ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ Kardashians പുതിയതൊക്കെ കാണും.
I didn't know people that nice. It's nice
Someone's
to see.
making something on, we're like, oh, they know. So Ranjini has this video of her making mori curry or something, which we have watched together. Which we have watched together.
Now I know a standard of viewership. Like എന്താ മോരുകറി കണ്ട ഒരു തെണ്ടി മോരുകറി ഉണ്ടാക്കൂല.
No, but it's so relatable because I was like, oh, Ranjini, മഞ്ഞ കളർ ഇല്ലാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം നല്ല കുറച്ചും കൂടി മഞ്ഞപ്പൊടി ഇടാം. That's so relatable. I was like, okay. See, that's a solution. Cooking as a
മഞ്ഞപ്പൊടി ഇല്ല ഇടുക.
ടേസ്റ്റ് മാറി പോകും. കയ്പ് വരും. അങ്ങനെ ഞാൻ കുറെ സാധനങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്റെ പൊന്ന് തന്നെ. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ കുക്കിംഗ് നിർത്തി.
I don't have a varied range of things like Nidhi said. I know I want to write. I know I want to read. അതൊക്കെ ഞാൻ ചെയ്യും. പിന്നെ I watch a lot of movies, music, YouTube and all of that. I try to sleep. I water keep my plants alive.
You guys all have another
Yeah.
life. That's good.
Yeah. I personally feel like even to do the work, it's your responsibility to take care of yourself.
Ah.
You can't go to
You
anybody
guys are
else
not like
and
prandigal who do journalism.
no, I mean we do have
Have
like
that
a erratic phase when
Yeah.
things are on
Okay.
like peak of it.
Yeah.
But-
I do wall paintings with kids.
Ah.
I organize kids parties. I do lots of random things.
Yeah.
But then പുറത്തുനിന്ന് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ ഫുൾ ടൈം നിങ്ങളെ like you know what I'm saying, people think that നിങ്ങൾ ഇതിനു വേണ്ടി പുറകെ നടക്കുന്ന കുറെ
പുറകെ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
വാളും പരിചയം പിടിച്ച
പക്ഷെ നമുക്ക് അവസാനം we should be also of sane mind, right? Which means we'll do other things. But what keeps me the most sane is news. Everything else is like I don't get stressed
It's
out when I
peripheral
actually know
to
what is
this.
happening.
It's also this perception. No? I feel that people categorize, only women have that category. So people categorize women into, oh, ഇവര് serious woman ആണ്, ഇവര് മറ്റേ journalist ആണ്, ഇവര് woman of substance ആണ്, ഇവര് കുറച്ച് vampy ആണ്. So this is all that category. So, you know, it's, so people,
Can't we be
You are
all?
Zen, huh? You are Zen.
it's
And
not
then she's Zen. What do you want to be? She was a vamp. What do you want?
not even that we can be everything. I'm saying human beings are complex. Women are just an extension. I mean, we're also human beings so complex who watch. I mean, I watch a lot of reels where people, you know, ഈ മരത്തിന്റെ അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഒരു ബോട്ടിൽ കെട്ടി തൂക്കിട്ട് അതിന്റെ അടിയിൽ 4 ഓട്ട ഇട്ടിട്ട് അത് ഷവർ ആയിട്ട്
പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് സത്യം പറഞ്ഞല്ലേ, for me the biggest enemy right now is social media.
Yeah?
Like I feel like I'm really trying to find, I really like
And she's
rituals
like,
and
that's what
systems.
that's her rest zone.
Yeah, പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് അത് പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
No, last 2-3 days is when I've been on Instagram. I'm not an Instagram person at all. I was always on Twitter. The serious
കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ബുദ്ധിജീവികൾക്കുള്ള സ്ഥലം.
Instagram എല്ലാവരും വളരെ ഹാപ്പി.
കുറച്ച് പ്രശ്നം വേണം.
എന്താ ചെയ്യണ്ടല്ലോ, എല്ലാരും സന്തോഷിക്കുന്നു, എല്ലാരും നല്ലത് പറയുന്നു. അപ്പുറം തെറിയാണ്, അതായത് അങ്ങോട്ട് പോയാൽ ഫുൾ തെറി. ഇവിടെ വന്ന് എല്ലാരും such good work.
I also like the craziness of people, you know, somebody's singing somewhere, somebody's just bashing somebody else, somebody's saying എന്റെ വീട്ടിലെ ചെടി കണ്ടോ. This is also for me that it's nice.
Yeah.
This human
No, I have
madness.
a friend, her name is Adira. Her friend.
I know.
Yeah, but I don't. ഞാൻ എന്റെ കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ചെയ്ത പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് അയച്ചു കൊടുക്കും. She's like, ഇപ്പൊ കാണാം.
കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ.
കുറച്ച് ഏതെങ്കിലും യൂട്യൂബ് വീഡിയോ അയച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവും, ലൈക്ക് ഏതോ ഒരാൾക്ക് 2 ഭാര്യ ഉണ്ട്, ബിരിയാണി ഉണ്ടാക്കി, മറ്റേ ഭാര്യ ഇത് നോക്കി, കല്യാണം കഴിക്കാൻ നോക്കി, പിന്നെ അവർക്ക് 2 യൂട്യൂബ് ചാനൽ.
This actually feeds intelligent people also.
എന്റെ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് കേട്ടാ.
There is no
ആ മാർക്കറ്റ് അല്ല. Your friends are not your market.
Like
you were why you can't stand it.
No, because you were asking earlier, right? Like, what's the scariest thing out there?
Yes.
I do think the scariest thing is this, that everybody is settled into some kind of fatigue because you know so much and you're so
Overexposed.
and we all think we're angry. We spoke about anger. We all think we're angry. We feel it very much sitting at home. But nothing, no more pushes you to actually go out there, even do a protest on the street, right?
It's all
We just know too much. And we're constantly numbed.
I go for protest.
No, I do it when I can. If I am free, if I am.
But I
it's
see it
much
with
more
my
limited
friends.
to.
Yeah, I see it with my friends. I see it in social circles. We just know too much.
You're right.
And I try and do a lot of like ritualistic things in terms of like trying to take a step back from social media and really trying some time away. And you start sensing how much of your
Time is gone in that.
the way you experience things changes.
Yeah.
And I feel like the biggest enemy right now is social media, even just to push people to feel something.
Yeah.
But some people have an appetite for all kinds of things. Like this friend I was talking about, though she does watch biryani duck in the family.
അത് ഞാനും
But she also like wide variety of things, right? Business, economy, Indigo in the Veti, Nikhil Kaman in the Zambochu.
There's a lot of information that comes through
but
too.
some people are like sponges. They can actually take it. Some people can't. I feel the biggest problem being on social media is the echo chamber and as journalists we get feedback.
Yeah.
We take it too seriously.
Yeah.
നമ്മൾ ആൾക്കാർ പുകഴ്ത്തും, നമ്മൾ ഭയങ്കര സന്തോഷിക്കും, ആൾക്കാർ തരുമ്പോൾ സങ്കടപ്പെടും. അതൊന്നുമില്ല. We should not have, that should not be our interaction with it at all.
But also because I think it's because you're a journalist and because you deal with so much of it. ഇത് കാണുമ്പോൾ you just like can't deal with this എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു.
I think there's value to also, you don't have to know so much about everything.
Not true.
You can know what you know, you can know it well.
Yeah.
ഇത്രയും അറിയേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. Like I really had to practice especially in a crowd of journalists.
ഇത്രയും പറയുന്നതിന് ഒരു കാരണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അത്രയധികം ആൾക്കാരാണ്. then we are not watching one person say it. We're
Yeah.
watching a million billion people who are on this phone.
But the problem, you know, is you don't know anymore what you think.
And there is no right and wrong anymore. No, if
Yeah.
right and wrong, ആർക്ക് എന്തും പറയാം.
Ipo oru crowd la, I have realized that somebody is telling me something about what they think about some social issue. പക്ഷെ ഇത് ഞാൻ വേറെ എവിടെയോ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. You know, and I have really had to start thinking, what do I feel about this?
Yeah, that's the only way, babe.
Because social media talks down to you.
Yeah.
They tell you what to think.
Yeah, yeah.
Even we, in the way we have started engaging on social media, we are really trying to compete with the same algorithm, right?
True, true.
So we are also talking down to
Getting
people. We are also
motivational.
Yeah.
Very true. It's a very dangerous aspect, and I think it's only going to get worse, to be honest.
And as a journalist, it's even more scary. If you don't know what you think when you're working on something, if you can't stand by it and you're suddenly taken in by the echo chamber, I really think that's a very scary place to be in.
Then finally you figure it out. What scares you most?
Yeah.
What angers you the most?
But about social media, I do think, I mean, as a person who consumes almost everything, അത് ചിലപ്പോൾ ഒരു പേഴ്സണൽ ടെമ്പറമെന്റിന്റെ കാര്യമായിരിക്കാം. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു, if all of humanity has come to a point where they're broadcasting themselves online, it is also documentation of what people are doing, what kind of stuff people have access to. Like, you know, are people becoming more homogeneous? What is happening with our aesthetics? What is happening with the songs that we listen to? How is this transferred? For example, you go to a wedding or you go somewhere, you will hear Instagram റീലിലുള്ള പാട്ടുകൾ പ്ലേ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. ഒരു ക്ലബിൽ പോയാലും നമ്മുടെ മ്യൂസിക്കിന്റെ ടേസ്റ്റ് മാറുന്നു. സിനിമയിൽ ഭയങ്കര കുഞ്ഞ് ഇത് നമ്മുടെ അറ്റൻഷൻ സ്പാൻ കുറയുന്നു. ഇതൊക്കെ സംഭവിക്കുമ്പോൾ പോലും I feel like if half of humanity has decided to put it out there, as a journalist, I have a very removed lens. Thankfully, it's not that I get absorbed into it.
You watch it.
അപ്പൊ എനിക്കത് അങ്ങനെയും കൂടെ I'm very interested to know what is happening, where everything is. Apart from keeping tab, I'm also trying to see what is the kind of content that's coming. Is it running out? What are people doing? This is information. This is insight into people's lives like never before.
Absolutely.
പക്ഷെ ഇതെല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞ് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരും ഇറങ്ങി ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ ഒരു സെൽഫി ഇടുക.
അല്ല, അതാണ് ഈ ലോകം. ഇതൊരു ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ടൊരു സാധനമാണിത്.
നമ്മൾ തന്നെയാണ്. ഞാൻ ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ ഡാൻസ് റീലിടും.
ഞാനില്ല, actually. I'm very less on it. But I'm just saying that like right way. They are like, they really love me. അതുകൊണ്ട് ദിവസവും എന്നെ പുകഴ്ത്തിട്ട് എല്ലാ ദിവസവും ഓരോ പറയും. ഞാൻ എല്ലാവരും മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ട്വിറ്ററിലൊക്കെ ഞാൻ മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തതിന് കണക്കില്ല. I don't block them.
You just mute it for the time
അവരെന്നെ
being.
സഹിക്കണം. അവരുടെ ടൈമിൽ ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ടാവണം. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഒരു ബ്ലോക്ക് ചെയ്ത് അവർക്ക് എന്നെ കാണാൻ പറ്റില്ലല്ലോ. So I don't block them. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യും. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ എന്നും വൈകുന്നേരം I have a set of 20 right wing accounts. I will go check. Because I don't want to be in the echo chamber of, you know, people like me. Yes. I want to actually understand
what is exactly going on.
Theory. Who are they hating today?
Yeah.
Who are they wanting
so
to
it kind of helps you realize the narratives that are being built, that's building across.
The problem is we live in an algorithm driven world.
And that algorithm is actually reflecting into the real world.
I make a very conscious effort to speak to people I don't agree with.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming that space where we have also taken a moral high ground, they have also taken a moral high ground. And nobody meets at any point. And if you speak in person, the argument is not so rigid.
No.
At the end of the day.
It's much better actually.
It's much more engaging.
നേരിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഇതിനകത്തൊരു ലിമിറ്റേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്.
I've not had those experiences. They're very rigid when they see me also.
അതിപ്പം സെൻ ആയതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും.
You're very friendly and zen.
നിങ്ങളും ഒരു തീവ്രവാദം എന്താ വ്യത്യാസം? അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ എന്റെ മൗത്ത് നോക്കി പറഞ്ഞ ആൾക്കാർ.
ആണോ? വണ്ടമായി. അതെ, സമയം കഴിഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ any final words on tell me what where does News Minute, because all the three of you are from News Minute and as journalists, there's a goal that you're working for. Is there something that you're working for? You said news is what gets you going and gets you excited. അങ്ങനെ വല്ലതും ഉണ്ടോ?
കുറേ പൈസ കിട്ടിയിട്ട് I want to start in all languages, because നമ്മൾ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ മാത്രം ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ലൈക്ക് ഇതിന്റെ ആൾക്കാർ വരുന്നത് മലയാളത്തിൽ ചെയ്യും. So I really want to go into languages, and do more investigation.
നമുക്കൊക്കെ നല്ല റേസ് കിട്ടുക.
അതൊക്കെ
എന്താ ആഗ്രഹം?
ആഗ്രഹം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ I feel like I'm very happy with some of the choices I've made. That I don't full-time want to work for international organizations. I want to work for space here. I like the long-form reportage process. I just hope to be able to keep doing it, because that itself is a task to keep at it. So I think I just want to keep at it.
I want to keep learning and understanding. Like, really, that is just that for me. Even when I mean, when I mentioned that I switched careers and all, I was this child who was always very uncomfortable with this idea that ജീവിതത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ ഒരു career choose ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ പിന്നെ അത് തന്നെ ചെയ്യണം. As an idea that never made sense to me. So I feel like when I feel I'm saturated, when I feel like I know something that I'm doing too well, then I feel uncomfortable. Then I want to do something that teaches me something more. So I would want to, wherever my interest takes me, I want to keep learning.
And you all know a Harari book where he says people will start living till 120, 130 because everybody's trying to make life longer. So what will happen? Can you be one profession for 100 years of your life?
Yeah.
Can you be married to one person for 100 years? അതൊക്കെ സുകന്യ ഓൾറെഡി
അതെ ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ
ജോലിയുടെ കാര്യം
ഞാൻ ആലോചിച്ചതൊന്നുമില്ല. പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് ഉള്ളിൽ ചെറുപ്പം തൊട്ടേ ഇങ്ങനെ ഭയങ്കര റെസ്റ്റ്ലെസ് ആയിരുന്നു ഞാൻ. സോ ഐ ഹാവ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് തിങ്സ് ദാറ്റ് ഐ വാണ്ട് ടു സീ. ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് വാണ്ട് ടു ലേൺ. ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ലൈക്ക് ഇത് ചെയ്ത് ഇതൊരു പ്രൊഫഷൻ ഇവിടെ അങ്ങനെ ഭയങ്കര അങ്ങനെയല്ല. ഐ വാണ്ട് ടു നോ മോർ തിങ്സ്. സോ wherever I hope that way I can feel excited.
Yeah, well, the greatest thing about life is that you have that choice to decide that at any point in time.
Also just one life, so might as well
live at large.
നമ്മൾ പിന്നെ എല്ലാ വീഡിയോ എങ്ങനെ എൻഡ് ചെയ്യാം? സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ടു ദി ന്യൂസ്.
ഇതും പറയാം, പക്ഷെ ന്യൂസ് റൂം അല്ല.
ഏത് വീഡിയോ
പ്ലീസ് പറയൂ, സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ടു ദി ന്യൂസ് റൂം അല്ലേ?
Subscribe to the news minute.
News minute. News
We
room
do not
എന്താ?
have advertisers. We're only accountable to our readers.
ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയോ? അത്രയ്ക്കല്ലേ.
Pay to keep your news free.
എന്താ?
Pay to keep your news free.
Yes.
And also maybe subscribe to Genie Talks. Maybe if you feel like it. ഇതൊക്കെ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് മതി. But guys. But നമുക്ക് വന്നിട്ട് ഇത് മാറ്റി കളഞ്ഞു. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I have to say this, like one is from Delhi, she's in Bangalore, she's in Cochin itself. It was just by coincidence that very last minute I reached out to Dhanya and she's like, ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട് for 1 week. I was like, കൊള്ളാലോ. I was like, can you come please? Only 11th possible night and all. But I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. തെറിവരോ എന്തോരോ ഒക്കെ നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. പക്ഷെ because you guys are used to it, I'm not so worried.
Thank you.
I love what you guys do. Keep at it.
Thank you
And
so much.
yeah, persevere.
And we love you
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah, of course we love you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm also friendly and zen. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
ഒരു ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കണം മറ്റേ.
Genie Talks.